What's going on, family? Welcome to Lapeef-ING Sundays. Let me introduce the crew. We got Mistaken, Quest, T-Bomb, Hink, Jay, A Story to Tell, Bruiser, and Shantae, me, myself on Lapeef JR. Welcome to Lapeef-ING Sundays. How you guys doing today on this Sunday morning?
Yo, what's up with this intro, JR? This is new content.
Man, just trying to give it a little bit of flavor. It's all about the experience. So just trying to give it a little bit of flavor.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Were you looking at the faces in the boxes when that was playing out? Like, was you looking at our reactions to it, if you could?
Oh no, I wasn't looking.
I was counting down. I was like, this. What the fuck? What is it?
Okay. Yeah, that's a new look, man. Yeah. I actually debuted it last Sunday, so I know a lot of people took a liking to it, but nevertheless, man, got to keep it pushing. Happy to see you folks on this Sunday. Y'all ready for some football?
Yeah.
Not on the show, but I'm just talking about after the show. So I didn't want y'all to think it was game time now.
Falcons.
Falcons 2-0.
Falcons are trash.
There's so much disrespect already. It's early
Falcons are so trash.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Best play.
Hey, the Bears trash too, my brother.
Hey, come on now, Quest, you reaching?
What?
You reaching, man.
Hey,
I think the Bears coming out with a W today.
Last week, Green Bay.
Yeah.
We're gonna take your trash out today. We got you.
Okay.
Hey, let's go, Brady. And we got a bunch of niggas on the hurt roster, and we still gonna eat their ass up. What's up?
Man, we see somebody.
I'm good for Green Bay today. Fuck that.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Sure, can. Go ahead.
I need absolute silence. Miss Sugar Curls, if you watching, baby, you got my locks so fucking tender right now and soft. Ooh. Boy, look, I thought the whole time, I'm glad I kept holding them bottles, but I thought the whole time the package that I received from the Atlanta show, I was reading, and I was like, this don't sound like it's for locks. And she hit me with the dissertations in my DM. She was like, you need to do this, and this. Now, at one point, she was like, you need to get a bag, a plastic bag, wrap your locks up, and sit up underneath a hot dryer. I'm like, all right. Niggas not doing all that, bro. Can you imagine me walking around the house with a hot bag on my head? Nigga? No.
You better not come out the house with that shit.
Nah, I ain't wearing it at all.
It's a shower cap. It helps hold the moisture in when it gets hot, and then it helps with the.
Quest said has a hair on 10.
He's like, no, I'm good.
No, I ain't doing that. But shout out to Sugar Curls because I ain't even need to do all that. She got my locks feeling soft, smelling good. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Big shout out to you.
Yeah. Shout out to Sugar Curl. She had reached out to me like, can you give me a Quest IG?
Yeah.
She was like, man, she was on as soon as the show was over.
Yeah, she was not fooling around. She was like, oh, did you do that? I was like, oh, shit.
Sugar Curls, I need for you to send me something for my beard, then. What you got for me?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Sugar Curls, please get Hank beard right. My dog looking a little ashy.
Hold on now. You know what you bust that question. You gonna keep on taking shots at my bird, down my bed, goddamn my basement. You said I was in the dungeon. God damn, Quest, we beefing right now, I see.
Nah, bro, you know I'm just talking my shit, man. You know I got love for you, Hank. I'm not lying to these hoes, but you know I got love for you, baby.
I'm working on that. We'll work on that, Quest.
All right. We definitely appreciate you guys tuning in for LAPEEF and Sundays. Make sure we get the likes up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor again, Teej Handling Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. So make sure you guys click the link in the description. That's how you get your 30% off along with a free gift. And shout out to the greatest network ever, the Lapeef Network. Hit the like button, family. Hit the like button. Let's go ahead and kick it off on our first topic of this. Are we afternoon yet? Almost afternoon. Afternoon for some folks. Maybe not now. Almost afternoon. There we go. It's too early, y'all. Y'all got to excuse me. First topic. Are men to blame for the way women treat them? Are men to blame for the way women treat them? And I do have a video to play to give you guys a little bit of context. Here we go.
I see men every day that get into the comments of beautiful women and say things like, pure stranger, I'll marry that, I'll wife that. Bro, let me help you understand. I blame vocally, if that's a word, I give y'all the bulk of the blame for the reason that women treat y'all such as they do. Let me help you understand. If you had the same love for yourself, the same value and the same worth, you wouldn't have to say shit like, oh, you're so fine, I'll marry you. You would get that type of energy in return, number one, and you would be wise enough to know that being fine doesn't mean y'all gonna have a healthy and equipped marriage. But because you niggas have such little self-love and worth, y'all say extreme shit like that, which then give women the notion that all they need to do is look cute to get a duck-ass nigga like yourself to say some shit like, I'll marry you. And then on the other hand, all a lot of y'all really present in a relationship is money. And then y'all wonder why, like, y'all basically, y'all presentation is like, look, baby, I got money. And then you wonder why she only wants you for your fucking money. So we have this broken connection out here amongst the culture where women feel like they got to be cute to get what they want, and you feel like you got to have money. And then from there, y'all go procreate, and y'all just make a bunch of little babies that only know vanity, only know money, but have no financial literacy. So at the end of the day, motherfuckers just end up being some cute-ass bums, like a lot of people are that's watching this video right now.
All right, well, you guys heard it. Are men to blame for the way women treat them? He said it's like a broken, just a circle just going around. What do you guys thoughts about the video? And if you guys think that men are partially to blame for the way women treat them?
I think absolutely, man. Like what he was explaining about hopping in the DMs and hopping in the comments, giving validation to something that wasn't earned. You know what I mean? Just some cleavage and a big butt. You know what I mean? Like you're saying that you would wife somebody just off of their appearance alone. So of course that's gonna boost them up to expect something that's not reality. You know, but I mean, and I think that's the problem. I think the problem is they hear it so much from some people, and then when it comes down to a real situation, they're not getting those results, and that yields a lot of disappointment. You know.
What's going on, T-Bone? You ain't got to choke over there, Jay.
I'm over there and help you.
You must have said some profound shit or something like that. Either maybe she got irritated. I don't know. Let me get one of the ladies in here real quick. What do you guys thoughts about what was said? Are men to blame for the way women treat them?
I mean, liking somebody's post or just giving them a compliment in general is not going to make me mistreat somebody. However, I will say that what I've noticed is a lot of men do focus on the vanity, the superficial aspects of a woman. And so women focus on that. And then when they do have that, they do feel as if they can treat people any way they want to treat people. So I have seen it, but I don't think that comes from, I think complimenting people, it's, is okay. I think when we preach though, not necessarily in the comments, but when we preach, period, that you got to keep your looks up, or beauty means all of these things. When you talk to a man, you're like, what do you need? Most of them say beauty and you to be feminine. Am I right? So if you keep saying that, a woman is going to focus on those two things. And if they do have that, some people get the big head and they do mistreat people. On the flip side, if you're being mistreated by anybody, it is your responsibility. A person should have one time to mistreat you and you're out the door. And that's on any given situation, as female or male or female. And yes, you are responsible. You're not responsible for the initial mistreatment, but you're responsible for staying in a situation where you're continuously being mistreated. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I have to say.
All right. What about you, Hank? What are your thoughts, sir? I see your hands are folded. I know this is touching souls over there. So what are your thoughts about it, sir? Are men to blame for the way women treat them in reference to the video we just watched?
I mean, yeah, I agree with what the man said about women are men to blame. Yeah, because if we accept that bullshit, then who can I put any fault on but myself? I can't blame nobody else but myself. If I allow it to happen, if I tolerate it, if I accept it and deal with it, yeah, I'm to blame. There's no way I would accept that bullshit from no woman like that. I'll leave her ass at the goddamn restaurant. There's no need for you to accept the disrespect, the constant belittling or emasculating of you. No, you shouldn't accept that. And if a woman does that, she has no respect for you. You need to leave her alone.
All right. I'm going to highlight this comment for one of our panel members. She'll be back with us shortly. But Ms. Toya said, men are not to blame. A man or any person for that matter will only do what you allow.
But it sounds like the man is to blame then.
Yeah.
Only allow what a woman allow. I mean,
I can see what she's saying. However, like let's say social media, for example, and guys are like, like old boy was saying that, you find a sale, this, that, and the third. We're not going to go and correct every single person that has said something on IG or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to do that. So it's just like, you just let it fly. You kind of just see what he's about. Like, you know what? Whatever.
And real quick, why I say men are to blame is because, okay, say if 17 men hop in your DMs, trying to holler, and I'm 18, I'm not trying to holler. I just have a question or I need some assistance with something. Automatically, I'm grouped in with that 17 because they were, trying to get at you. And I'm genuinely not trying to get at you, but you treat me as if I am. That's our fault. That's the previous guy's fault.
Unfortunately, that is true.
And then too, if she doesn't know you, she probably is just treating you like a stranger. She doesn't know you, And so I guess I would have to get more information on how you feel like you're being treated, Like, are you coming off wrong? Because sometimes when you're coming in, you can see the first sentence. If it's like a business, question, she can see that you mean business, But if you're like, good morning, beautiful, good morning, that may be a little different.
Every man promotes as if it's business in some capacity. Like, oh, I see your car looking a little raggedy. I work over at the Jiffy Lube, so I can help you out. But essentially, it's all just coded in business, but it's really, I'm trying to get at you.
So I think this is basically a conversation, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Honestly, that's what this really is, right? Because on one hand, you could be like, well, if men stop saying, hey, beautiful, and all this other shit, oh, I'll marry her, and like the shit like what Derek Grace was talking about, you could say that that's the part of the problem, right? Or you could be like, well, if she wouldn't have put that thirst trap picture up there for us to sit here and go and have all these types of and say all these types of stupid ass comments, you could say that as well, right? Honestly, I don't think we're gonna be able to determine are men to blame for the way women treat them, or the vice versa. I mean, I don't know, man.
I was just gonna say, you teach people how you want to be treated, right? And so in the area, like with men, if they're saying they want women that are beautiful, they lead with their money, you're going to attract what you put out. So women are going to adapt to some of that stuff to be like, all right, let me like he said, focusing on my beauty, and then at the same time have the expectation that I need, my dude to have money. Now vice versa, men also say like they want the box too, and so you also have women that are just giving it up. But on the flip side of that, in holding women accountable, if you know you have more to offer than your beauty and your box, then you can't lead with that. So even though they set the standard of this is what I want, you have the option of choosing whether or not that's how you want to present yourself. So I think it goes like, hand in hand, because you as an individual set the standard as to how you want people to approach or respect or treat you.
Well, so on my show, this is what we call extreme compliments. Extreme compliments, when you say stuff like, "Oh, I'll marry you because of this." Now I don't believe this can be generalized as the reason why women treat men the way they do. I don't believe that. I think he stated something about a broken connection, because this makes women just want his money. And I would say, all women want, it's not all women want, but what I'm saying, you can blame society on that. You can blame the way manospheres are talking today as far as, what we value in a woman as far as their beauty, and what we have to offer, what we advocate for ourselves as men. What we have to offer is provisions and protection. So there's no reason why a woman wouldn't think that, okay, a man is supposed to offer his money, his resources, as far as whenever it comes to what you bring to a table to make the relationship work. And I think it's all based on the understanding of the both couples that's trying to get into a committed relationship. Like, what are they agreeing to do? But I do agree it's more than just her body. But I say it's all subjective to which man values in the person that they're dealing with. I personally do not believe extreme compliments from men are what's causing women to think that all they have to do is be fine to be married. I do believe the best version of yourself as far as beauty and fitness goes is about 70% of a woman's value. And, that can give a man a significant enough reason to want to marry a woman.
I wanted to say too, I think that, were you done? Because yours went out. Okay, good. So what I wanted to say too is, I can use me as an example. If you comment, "Oh, I want to marry you," I just think it's cute, it's flattering. Thank you. That's a compliment. I'm not going to mistreat you because you paid me a compliment. That's the character of the person. If a person is mistreating you or downing you because you paid them a compliment, you need to look at the character of the person, because I don't know why that would sway how you may get the big head and maybe have more confidence, but that's just people, men and women, when they get the big head. But for the most part, a man commenting on a post saying, "I'll marry you," that shouldn't sway a person's character in any type of way. If anything, you should be flattered and grateful that he's even paying you any type of attention, because he could not.
So after thinking about this topic a little bit more, right? Like, I think some of this is, I think the majority of this is women are treating men a certain type of way because there are men that's out here that's spinning the bag on these women, right? Fucking average women, some of them subpar women. So when a nigga who got something together come to him on some like, "Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you," and they nigga, please, all this extra shit, it's because they done had some fool willy nigga that done dropped the bag on them, made them think their valuation is higher than what it really is. So now they walk around with snotty ass attitudes, right? So fellas, stop spending your money on women that you know damn well don't deserve it or haven't earned it, is what I should say. When I say spending money, I'm not talking about taking a woman out on a dinner date. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you fool niggas that's out here buying bags and just giving out, "Oh, here's this amount of money so you can go and blow it," you know what I mean? Just so you can look good, and using it as an entrance into the box. That's what a lot of niggas do. right? But because of that, because niggas is trying to go to extreme measures to get to the box, they done hyped and piped up this woman, making them think they're more valuable, or their valuation is higher than what it really is. In turn, regular guys, normal guys get treated like garbage in the club. You ain't in the section, nigga. Don't try to holler at me. I see this shit all the time with promotions and shit like that, or whatever out here in the Tampa area. Don't nigga, you at the bar with a little Hennessy and Coke, nigga. What about the nigga that's over there with the 6 bottles in his section?
Little do they know that man with that Hennessy and Coke got more going on than.
Well, I knew you were about to say something. I'm assuming you were about to say. I'm assuming you were about to say. Little do you know that dude that's standing at the damn bar with a cup of Hennessy and Coke probably got it better than the niggas that's sitting in sections.
I see it all the time as well. So and I definitely don't think that women should be, just because a man is spending money on them, that they should be treating guys like, oh, like, get away from me, don't talk to me. Like, I think that's whack to me. Like,
well, maybe I'm confused.
But that is the dynamic, right?
What I'm thinking about is how women treat you. Not just talk about comments or somebody saying something about marrying them on Facebook. I just thought we were talking about how women treat you. Period. It's a man's fault for accepting that. So we're not talking about that. Period.
I mean, I think people just telling their own
versions of it.
You're saying in general how women treat you in general, not necessarily. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. What was dangerous about his what he said, that could be poison to a lot of men's ears, because then now you're recreating a narrative of why women are treating men like they're treating them today. That's just giving women a place to hide behind, saying, oh, if you didn't compliment us so extreme, then we wouldn't treat you like shit. And I think that's poison to society right now, especially with the. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say I don't think it's poison. I think any information that we hear, we just got to have balance. I always preach balance. It's up to you to be able to apply it the way it needs to be applied to your life. So I don't think it's poison. I think it's some value. It's some truth into it, but you just got to figure out how to apply it to your life.
Ironically, before we jumped on here, we was talking about we were talking about like thirst trapping and shit like that or whatever, right? I bet you that the dynamics would shift completely if, for example, if it's ladies, y'all putting these thirst trap pictures out there, right? And I'm talking about them scant ones, right? Y'all putting these thirst traps out there for the likes and shit like that. Fellas, if you stop liking all them pictures altogether, it might bring them back down to earth, because some of them are like way out there just because they show the cheek. You know what I'm saying? So if we stop liking their pictures altogether, that may bring, if they originally are at this level, they'll drop back down to where their actual market level is, what they know it to be, right, or what it should be.
Well, let me just ask, because first of all, I don't think I have any thirst trap pictures, but
as you close.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for real.
Anyhow, but my question is, that would not be. You're assuming that every woman who gets a like is going to have bad character. Some people, like myself, if I am trying, if I could be in public, if somebody pays me a compliment, I look at it as a compliment. Why would I mistreat a person who is complimenting me? Like, that's just dumb to me. Like, why? What? Thank you, and a genuine thank you. That's you gotta be able to separate the two. There are women out here you compliment, and we're appreciative for the compliment. Maybe I need to hear that compliment that day. So you can't punish us all because a few bad character chicks think they too much. So that's just my opinion on the situation. But if you are that person, look, the man don't have to pay you no attention. Now, if he's in there doing something very lustful to the point where it's inappropriate, that's a different story. If he's paying you a compliment, say thank you and move on. What's wrong with a thank you?
Now, let me ask you a question real quick. How would Shantae, how would you appreciate, what would you say is the rate that you would accept something like that and still remain humble?
For somebody saying you look gorgeous, you look beautiful, I want to marry you, those are not bad comments to me.
So imagine getting that 3,000 times a day for 2 years straight.
Then turn your comments off.
No. What I'm saying is, do you think it will warp your perception of how you receive that comment?
No.
You think you would
To
still
marry
remain?
somebody now, if he got in my comments and said I want to like something inappropriate to me, that's different. But something as honorable as marriage, that to me
I
is
think
a
you're missing
compliment.
his
Oh,
point
thank
a little
you.
I think you missed his point a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
Right?
Sorry, let me
No.
hush.
He's saying that, like, I'm guessing what he's saying is, like, if you're getting all these likes daily or weekly or whatever, are you still, do you think that you're still be humble or something like that? Is that what you're trying to say? Something like that?
Yeah, I'm saying that, okay, you in your current position, you know, receiving that here and there is one thing. However, receiving that 2,500 times a day for a long duration, would it warp your perception? Would it warp how much validity it holds or how you appreciate it? You know what I mean? Somebody is saying that you're beautiful once every 6 months feels different than somebody saying that every day 2,500 times a day.
Well, do
I
you
would be
think
appreciative. I don't know. I guess I'm a different character. I would just say thank you, like because I do that. You know, now I get a lot of people on, especially they say, "Hey, thank you." You mean, you know, they pay you a compliment whether they mean it or not, and I'm always grateful. Thank you. I go to each one of them and I say thank you. No matter how many it is, it may take me a while. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
do you think it depends on too where that the individual starts in terms of the way they think about themselves? So if you already think that you're attractive, then I don't know if it reinforced, like hearing somebody over and over again saying how attractive you are or you're beautiful. If you already feel like that about yourself, hearing that, I don't know if it would necessarily warp your opinion about yourself, other than it reinforcing what you already know. Versus if you thought you were beautiful and then other people are like, oh, she's ugly. You know what I'm saying? So I think at that point, I think if it's opposite of what you already think of yourself, then it will have a greater impact.
Hey, you know what? You know
That
what's
makes
funny?
sense.
You know what's funny is, and this I know this to be true, right? Some of y'all ladies that's out here, some of y'all that's in the chat right now, you'll have a picture up, right, with scantily as hell. You got your ass out, you got your titties out, 3 million motherfucking likes. You know what, Marcel? Keep my if you in the chat, keep my cuss count. Or actually, Toya, from here on out, please keep my cuss count. I said I was gonna work on that on Sundays. But you'll have something over the top, scantily, you know what I'm saying? Got your A and your T's out, get 1 million likes, and then you got a regular picture, right? Up on your wall or whatever, and you getting not even a fraction of the likes, right? All your normal pictures are at 100 likes, but all your scant ones are at 3,000 likes, right? But you walking around with the mentality of the 3,000. No, go to what the standard is across the board, right? And understanding that's where we are, right? Be realistic with who we are. We like to overvaluate ourselves and things of that nature or whatever. Now, granted, it don't apply to everybody, right? Some people don't get moved by their likes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But if you out here and you doing that, right, like come back to reality, bro.
I'd be
You
happy
know,
with my 100 likes.
And I say this to Jay's point. I mean, I know it was a question for the lady, but whenever you ask questions like that, I try to see if I can compare it and align it to what the value of a woman. And I think the value of a woman is in her beauty. And if she's beautiful enough, she will get those compliments. Just like I think the value of a man is in his ability to be productive. You know what I'm saying? And be goal driven. And if he's getting, and the way I try to compare that is if he's getting compliments saying, hey, man, all about 25, like the same scenario, 2,500 people, man. Hey, you're a good man. You're a great guy. We like what you're doing. And he's hearing this from 2,500 different people, just like she's hearing how beautiful she is from 2,500 different people. I think that if that many people are saying it, then I don't think there's a necessary for her to be humbled or for him to be humbled. If everybody is saying the same thing, if everybody is speaking the same language, then if you already know that you're a great guy and you're actually getting the confirmation from your surroundings, I'd say cherish that and embrace it, because there's a lot of shit going on in the world that's just bringing us down and a lot of obstacles. And I think having that, having that praise from your accomplishment, because you never know, this woman might be in the gym behind the curtains. We don't know what this woman or this man is going through. They're out here every day, hours and hours, working on their bodies, working on their health, working on their jobs, working on their careers, working on their skills. And then they get praised for it. I think that's necessary. I think that's a verbal reward, you know what I'm saying, for what you're going to receive in the world later as far as being tangible. So I think we may be looking at it, in a way that where we got to feel like we got to filter it out just so we can not be delusional. I don't think it's a matter of a woman becoming delusional because she's being over-complimented. I think you should embrace that, especially as a Black woman and what's going on in the world. You should embrace it and use it as energy to go in, especially if you're single, going into the dating with some type of confidence.
Well said.
I agree. Yes, that was beautiful.
All right. I appreciate you guys' perspectives on that topic. If you guys just tuning in, welcome to Lapeef Sundays. Make sure we get the likes up. Also, make sure we subscribe to the channel. Again, shout out to the sponsor, Teach Hanley. Feel Teach, uncomplicated skincare for men. Get your 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. Moving on to our next topic. And
hold on, what them likes looking like, JR?
I don't have it opened up right now. Chat, what the likes looking like?
Yeah, chat. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Chat ninjas. I know y'all in here showing some support and showing some love to the platform. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all chat ninjas now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And even if you're not in the chat, for whatever reason, if you're just watching and or in the chat, just take this opportunity right now to hit the like button.
I know
just
some of y'all leaving out of church right now. Couldn't wait to get on to listen to Lapeef Sunday. Now you done heard what the pastor done said, right? He done took all your money for the day. You got your tail in the car and you say, what is the cheapest entertainment that I can get right now? Welcome to Lapeef Sunday.
400 people in the 400 people, 138 likes.
Come on, y'all. We got to do better than that. Everybody take a moment right now. Let's get the likes up.
Hey, just because the pastor done took all your damn money today don't mean you gonna come on here and just not like us.
That's because JR hasn't said a word yet. You go ahead and pray the prayer. You didn't do it this Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just bow our heads right now. Let's just let's uplift this panel in prayer and uplift the chat and all the watchers right now. Lord, we just want to say thank you for all that you have done for this platform. But we asking you right now in this very moment, if you can just take the fingers of these beloved ones that's watching right here and just put it right there. Not on that type of trigger, but on that trigger button to hit that like right now, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Lord, just
stop playing on my God. Yes.
Hold on, I'm not done praying yet.
Oh.
Ushers, can you guys please escort her out this ceremony right now? Because that's what we will not have. This is not that church that you saw. This is not one of those. But anyway, anyhow, let's go ahead and get the likes up right now, Lord. Move them however way you need to move them. And Hink, I see you, Hink. I feel like the word is speaking to you right now, sir.
I'm just telling you straight up.
And also, while we at it, Lord, let's pray for these Chicago Bears today. Let's make sure that they are able to come out with a victory today. If it's talent on that Bears, let it shine today, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Get your hand out my pocket, Dougal.
All right, y'all. Hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button, man. And yeah, I mean, to some, prayer is powerful. So, we said it in our own special way, but just bless the panel in all ways when we turn it off, as to make sure we get to where we need to be safely and get home safely each and every day and be able to enjoy life fully. And that's a true prayer.
Hey,
with that being said,
next time, don't ignore my chat ninjas in your prayer, bro.
Oh, and a very, very, very special prayer for the chat angels.
Yeah.
It's Sunday, so we gotta call them angels.
They are the chat angels.
I got y'all chat ninjas. I ain't gonna let JR do it to you.
I know that's right.
Satan was once an angel.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna take him to Sunday on Friday, Shantae. We're gonna take him to Sunday on Friday. Fatty with the $5 says salute to the panel in the chat. I see you, Hink. Thank you for coin yesterday and adding to the convo, Bruiser. Have a nice Sunday, guys. Appreciate that, Fatty. We also have a new member. Sweezy TV. Became a YouTube member, so shout out to you. And Siobhan, she's enjoying her birthday. She says, "Have a great show, family. Appreciate you."
Now, hold on. Let me talk about Siobhan real quick. Now, you were just hating on somebody, a woman, for giving $5. And this is what you come with? Your super chat, $1.99.
She's a little tipsy right now. She's a little tipsy.
No,
this is true.
You didn't mean that, Siobhan, because you said that woman didn't mean that. Now, reaching that Louis Vuitton. Hold on, reach into that Louis Vuitton bag you got over there.
Yeah.
And pull out that super chat. Otherwise, you didn't really mean it.
Yeah, multiply it by 10, baby.
You feel me?
Tenfold, baby.
All right, moving on to our last super chat for right now. Hink says, $15, brother. Appreciate it. Paying my cuss account department. There you go. So shout out to everybody that has blessed us.
Oh, Siobhan just showed up.
There we go. There we go. Put it up. Put it on up, JR.
Yeah.
See?
What?
We not going to be in the church of hypocrisy in Christ.
No, shout out to Siobhan with the 1999. There you go.
That's right. Multiply times 10, baby. You did right. Siobhan's learned.
Look at Quest with the shaming, boy. Hey.
Yeah. Well, we
got
to bring shaming back, baby. We got to bring it back.
I'm going to start calling this shit Accountability Sundays, goddammit.
All right, so let's go to keep it moving. Our next topic. This one right here says, known fact that females only set requirement for ninjas they really don't like. Let's see if there's some truth to that. Women only set requirements for men they really don't like. Is that true, women?
I think we try to do it for all men, but sometimes people get through the cracks, you know.
I'm gonna call that.
Literally.
I think
it depends on if the heart is involved. Let me tell you, when that heart is involved, baby, all the standards go out the door.
I'm calling TI cap. That TI cap that sit on the side like that.
I'm calling cap.
That's that TI cap right there.
I definitely think that if you're not that attractive, if he doesn't meet your like checklist of, you know, everything, you're going to hold him to a different standard than another dude that you find attractive. Women are attracted to attractive men. And sometimes the standards that they even say that they have for themselves go out the window at times. Now, I'm not saying it is across the board for all women, but a lot of times you will say you'll overlook some things if it's a dude that you're attracted to versus if it's a different dude that you may not necessarily be 100% attracted to, but then it's like, all right, well, here are my standards, you know. So I do think that we, you know, weigh different dudes differently.
All right, so and look, I'm gonna be your hood translator today, Miss Taken. You know what I'm saying? I know you all degreed up and all that. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna break it down to the hood chat ninjas and ninjas. Listen, ladies, you know for a fact that if the right guy hollered at you and he was looking all sexy, how y'all like, he piping that night. Whereas the average dude, Shantae, we ain't talking about you, baby, because it's never y'all. Remember. Whereas the decent guy, right? The guy that you like, I'm willing to get to know the dude, you know what I'm saying? Just to see a little bit, whatever. But he ain't hitting all them cylinders like you like initially, visually. He ain't gonna be able to pipe down the first day. But the dude that come in looking like what's that dude y'all used to like back in the day, Shamar Moore or whatever, James St. Patrick, one of them niggas, yeah, or Idris Elba. Idris Elba coming the door right now. Idris Elba coming the door right now. You gonna say take the rubber off, bro? No, you ain't need no rubber.
Quest, look at that smile on Shantae's face.
Come on, man, he's smashing right now.
only Christian Keys.
Shantae, if Idris Elba said, "Let me pipe right now,"
I'm not attracted to him.
Who you attracted to? Tell me right now.
Said Christian
only
King.
Christian Keys, the only person I'm even attracted to.
Who is it?
So you saying that if he came in there,
what's the name?
So you saying
Christian Keys.
So you will let him pipe right now if he walked in the door?
No, I wouldn't.
You a liar.
That's the only person I'm attracted to like that.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
I may think about it for a week at least.
Yeah, keep it G.
A work week or a full week?
My preference is a little different because to me, I think Mike Tyson is the sexiest man on the planet.
Oh,
yes, she does.
Sorry, yes, I do.
She does for years.
And he could get it raw dog on the first day, can't he?
Where's the
If he wasn't
Tyson
married.
sound effects,
Wait.
JR?
Oh,
If he wasn't married.
If he would, hold on. I'll call cap on that. I'll call cap on that.
We
You
don't
let
do
Mike
no
Tyson
married
pop
men.
right
No,
now.
I know
Not-
she
no.
wouldn't.
If he wasn't
Hey,
married.
Jay.
But that is the love of her life.
Jay, is she capping?
He's the love of my life.
Absolutely, man. If he start talking that talk, you know, I'm the most powerful, I'm the most dangerous of it. If you start talking that talk, you know, me and my wife, you know, we got a situation where
Like,
you know
tell her.
you're
Let her
gonna be
know.
like, really? Y'all in an
Man, she
open
let that man
relationship?
pop right now. Facts.
All right.
Hey,
Since
you
y'all
see
in
how
an
she
open
keep- you see how she
relationship,
keep messing
okay.
with her hair? You see how she keep messing with her hair right now? This man ain't even in the room right now, Shawty.
I love him.
Everybody got that person, man. Everybody has that person.
Wow. Hey, Shantae, you smile a little bit too hard.
Hey,
She's
shout
still
out
thinking
to
about
Jay,
it.
This is
man.
a cute conversation.
Yeah, she's
I'm
still
talking
thinking
about
about
he
it.
had on. My neck hurts. But this is a cute conversation.
Hey, shout
I
out
know
to
it
Jay,
is.
bro. Them chat ninjas going wild about your impression, G.
I don't know too many people. I'm just like, oh, now in my life, I'm like, oh, I want to have a one night stand with. But he's the closest thing. That's my. He's just perfect to me.
What is he, a gospel singer?
No, he's an actor.
Christian.
He's an actor, screenwriter.
Hey, Shantae, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yes.
Are there some things that you're gonna take to the grave that you would never tell nobody?
No, I'm pretty open book.
Have you ever had a one night stand?
Listen, so I have had a look.
Oh, that open book
That's a
closed
yes
your
or no.
friends.
I have not had. Look, I'm just saying. Can I talk?
That's a
I've
yes or
not
no.
had a traditional one night stand. No, I've not met a person the day of and then slept with them. No.
So what's the untraditional way?
Like I've known him for a while, and I call it a, you know. Oh, isn't he handsome? So no, I've not had a traditional one night stand. No.
If you see me tip my hat like this to the side, like Ti,
You don't have to look. I don't.
you
don't
already
have to,
know what is on.
Look, let me just tell you this. Contrary to popular belief, everybody ain't out here sleeping with people. They're just not. So y'all can get in your mind, you got this fantasy, all women are these women who just open their legs. When in actuality, most women are not. They're not.
No, most women your age are not.
No, even in their younger years, they're not.
That's cap.
Oh no, that's a lie. That is
Okay.
a lie.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So you're saying every single woman.
No, I'm not saying every woman.
Is out here. Who they sleeping with? Who is so fine that I gotta have him right now? Name one.
Jay just showed the
Name
picture of
one.
him. Jay
One
just showed the
average
picture.
guy that they come across every day, they're like, oh, I got to have him tonight. Because I don't see him.
Look here. That picture Jay just showed.
Maybe I
he
need to
just
change
showed us one.
my zip code because I don't see him.
No, I'm saying, see, you're more mature about it. Like you have a crush, or you know, you like the dude, but you still have a maturity about it. Where imagine a woman that's 10 to 12 years younger. They
I
are
was
literally
10 to 12 years younger.
right, but him in particular, you know, there are people
fine.
out
Now you didn't say him.
No, him 10 or 12 years earlier. There's women out there that was straight.
I wouldn't even say that
stick a
age
straw in his
Yeah,
tub.
I wouldn't even say that age really has a difference on whether they do it or not. I just think that if put in certain situations, some people may go, you know, but they may look back like, I can't believe I've done that. And it probably happens like more often than so. But we're not talking about everybody on the panel, Shantae. I don't think it's not everybody, but some people do. Some people be tempted.
Okay.
So
And,
I think for a lot of people I don't know if you would consider the right place at the right time.
I'll try to clean it up for.
No. I'm saying
I don't go on vacation.
I'm agreeing with you, actually, JR. Because I think you have a lot more, I guess, discipline when it's something that you really don't like. It's easier. Like if my husband bought like Oreo cookies in here, like I like snacks, you know, I like cookies, but there's certain kinds. So if he brought Oreos in here, I'm not going to touch them because it's really not my thing. But if he brought something else in here that I really liked, it's going to be that much more difficult for me to be disciplined to not touch it. And I think it's the same thing when it comes to certain men. Certain men, you're able to be much more disciplined because they may not fit every single aspect of your criteria. But if it's that man that fits that initial criteria and you attracted and you're like, ooh, then it's that much more harder to be disciplined. So you may not, like just be like, nah, he's gonna wait for this amount of time or whatever, or no, he doesn't have. You'll start making certain excuses that would allow you to kind of overstep what you said your standards are. So like what
We've all
she's
broken our rules
saying,
before.
she whatever the guy is that she just said that she
Yeah, like the Christian Keys. Yeah.
right, Krista Keys, she's not going to say hold him to the same standard as somebody else that she may be feeling, but she's taking more time to get to know because
Right.
he's hitting, right off the bat. Like,
hold on. And Shantae, though, you don't even have to say anything after this, but I was just listening to what you were saying. The thing you said, what average guy is walking around? And I think that's what did it for me. Now, if we were to ask the question, if Christian Keys knocked at your door and said, hey, my car broke down or something like that, you don't have to answer. You don't have to answer because I'm just putting all the context clues together. I was paying attention to your verbiage, and it all makes sense. Enough said.
And he's talking. And he's talking that talk. And he's talking that talk.
No,
He
let's
said,
just for the
"Oh,
record,
your neck
I
is
probably
hurting."
would not have a one-night stand with him either.
Oh my
But let me
God.
just say, he's very.
I just said that you don't have to answer. You don't have to. I mean,
I
that's
have to
yeah,
say it.
right.
Right,
Like
so-
it's behind closed doors, so that's between you and him.
It's
at the end
not.
of
It's
the day.
on the YouTube.
That's all it takes.
But
Let
at
him,
the
let
end
him,
of the
let him
day,
reenact one of them
listen,
love scenes that he was in one of them
even
movies, and
if
she be
he's
the
the only
young
guy
lady in
I
the love
find
scene. He
attractive
be
like
all
that.
up on that, man. Trying to tell you, need to stop. You camping
So
like
here's
hell.
what I
You all
say.
Hey, Hank, you don't have to say nothing.
Hey, all right,
She's
let me
over
just say this.
explaining. She's
No,
over
let me
explaining.
say
So
this.
that's you
I
got to
gotta
pay
explain
attention to the
myself.
proof.
Here, let me say
This
this.
is true.
Put a
Let
fork
me
in the
let me just say
shit.
this. You see, Shantae,
Hold on,
hold on.
Hold on, Quest. Let her get it out real quick and then
Oh,
leave.
go ahead. My bad.
It's so funny that Mistaken and I think it was Mistaken, or it was either Tam or Mistaken. I was just talking about how scarce. What did you? I was talking about how scarce my type is. Was that you? Yeah. So it's not. I'm not a person. In my head, like I'm just not attracted to. I'm not saying I'm all. I just have a type. It's not necessarily the most gorgeous person.
We've already went through this already, Shantae.
Yeah,
That's what I
so
said. We're not talking about the average guy. So you're right, but we just talking about Christian Keys knocked at that door. It's a
Exactly.
different,
my
it's a
heart
different game.
starts pounding so fast. when
And I
you
said from that point on, you ain't got to say nothing because the more you say,
Shantae won't even let us get it out. That's how I know she's full
No,
of
she's
shit.
reinforcing
Shantae won't
the
even let us get it out. So here's
she's
let me just say this.
reinforcing the point that y'all are making. That's what he's doing.
Let me just say this.
all right,
Hold on.
y'all, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and end this with
Let me
class.
just say
We're gonna
this.
move on, y'all.
Let me just say this, Jay. I've been trying to get it out, but y'all kept cutting me off. As you see how many problems this tag on this damn neck pillow giving you? Okay, this tag is kicking your ass. Okay, yes, that tag is kicking your ass.
It's irritating me the way it looks in the thing, but it's not bothering me.
Let me just get it out, Shantae. So as well as this tag is kicking your ass, you telling me this man come to your door talking that talk with that verbal judo? You think you're gonna be able to fight that off? The tag is kicking your ass, woman.
And if he has some nice cologne on, oh.
See what I'm talking about?
There you go.
Keep talking,
enough said.
Shantae. Keep talking, baby.
We rest our case, Your Honor. We rest our case. Time to move on. You guys just tuning in. Welcome to LAPEEF-ING Sundays. Make sure you get the likes up if you haven't already. Shout out to Daniel Atlas. Is that how you said?
Thank you, Daniel.
$20. I tell us. Appreciate that, Jay. Thank you for your generous donation. Hit the like button, family. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Moving on to our next topic. And I got a video to play with that. Let me go ahead and cue that up. You good, Bruce? I know you're kind of quiet on that one.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Just do a well-being check. We don't want people passing out in the church. Sometimes the sermon may not be going the way that you want it to go that day. So, like he ain't, it's not speaking to me today. So
sometimes you just got to get educated.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. The next topic, we're going to talk about hate versus envy, and I got a video.
Nigga, we having hidden agendas And it be say, bro, a hater. What I learned, a hater, he from a mile away. He a nigga that don't know you. But a nigga that envy you, he around you. And that shit is more detrimental than anything, brother. And you got to watch envy over hate. See, hate could be from a distance, and you don't give a fuck about that. He can't touch you. But envy is close to you. And you got to be prepared for that. And you got to know how to deal with that. Real shit. Every nigga could take your life.
For sure.
He's somebody that you
They
trust.
close enough.
And it could really be family. Majority of the time it be family. But envy always close. Like this close.
Yeah.
Hate is, he don't even know you and he hating. He don't even pay his nigga, never met you, don't even know nothing about you, and he just hating. And that hate come from a distance. But envy, that shit right in your face. You gotta know how to handle it. You gotta know how to see it. And you heard me, record, that shit could be deadly.
All right, so Birdman's been in the game, been around a few folks, dropped them gems on us. Hate versus envy. What do you guys thoughts about it? I'm gonna go to you first, Bruce. I know you didn't get too much talk time on the next one, and then we'll go to T-Bone.
Yeah, I think it's true. I think a lot of, you know what I'm saying, people who envy you are around you. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people are around you, because it's some type of admiration or it's some type of covet. I don't know if that's the right word to use. I've heard of it in the Bible. But I think it's whenever you like what another person has, or you're trying to get that. And people hate on you all the time. I think it's just another way of, I don't want to say crab in a bucket mentality, but if you see somebody else just doing well and you're not doing well, sometimes it's some type of jealousy. So, yeah, I mean, that's why I always advocate that, you know, guys, you know, keep this circle small. You know what I'm saying? Don't have a whole bunch of people in there that way you can't, you know, keep up with what everybody's doing and the way everybody's moving. If you got a high population of guys or friends or whatever and family in your circle, I have family members. Just because my family doesn't mean they are in my circle. You know what I'm saying, there's certain family members you just can't trust and you just can't fuck with. It's point blank. So you have to, it's on you to recognize that and just, you know, move that way. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep a small circle.
All right, T-Bone, what are your thoughts about it?
Yes, I definitely agree with Birdman. You know, unfortunately, like me growing up, I've been hated pretty much all my life from, you know, other girls or whatever growing up, without them even getting to know me. So some people on the outside, they may think that I'm this type of way, but until you get to know me, then you're going to love me. As far as the envy part, quick true story. I heard my father's best friend murder my father. And because he had a hidden agenda. My father was the best man at his wedding, and he turned around and murdered my dad. So because of these hidden agendas, I think that we have to pay attention and pay attention to the signs. And if we get any kind of like gut feeling that somebody is around us that's just kind of like shady or something like that, then it's just like we have to really pay attention to those signs and pay attention to our gut. So yeah, it's a crazy world.
Yeah, I want to say my condolences with that. I know that's a pretty tough score.
Definitely.
And I appreciate your transparency as well. Thank you. Anybody else? Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, I definitely, when I was younger, I was a hater. I was envious. I was a hater. And I think it was just I think hate and envy are kind of like hand in hand. Like, for instance, I had friends in my circle, you know, and I kind of hated, like, they were more outgoing. They were like life of the party. You know, me, I'm kind of more reclusive, you know, over in the corner. If we had a party, I'm on the wall, there in the elements, you know, dancing, meeting people, mingling. And I always used to be on the wall, you know, just hating on that, man. Damn, fuck, you're always dancing all the time. You know what I mean? But they having fun. Like, what the fuck are you sitting on the wall hating, you know? But it was more, as I got older, I realized I envied that I didn't have those tools. You know what I mean? I envied that I didn't have the ability to, or I wasn't comfortable enough with myself to get out there and do what they were doing. You know, so I hated that they had those abilities and I didn't, but I envied that I didn't have them because I wanted them. You know what I mean? So I guess, and I talked to them about that, like, because they would notice when I was younger certain stuff I would do, and I was able to put it together. Like, it's because I admired those abilities. So I think hate and envy is a form of admiration. It's something that you see that somebody has, and it's a tool that you maybe don't have, that you need to figure it out, because you too can have that. It just takes work,
Well, I know what, and the famous words of T.O., they love to hate me, hate to love me. One of my favorite songs is by the OJ is Backstabbers. And I love that song for a reason, because you always feel like there's somebody out there to get you, or somebody out there looking at you in a despiteful way. And what Jay said resonated with me, because I can relate what he's saying. I used to hate on the guys who had their fathers in their life, because I didn't have that. I mean, and that really would bother me. I would go to certain events. I remember my senior year, I had to be escorted by another man's father when it comes to your parents being there with you, because my father just wasn't there, and it really burns me. It really burned me up when I was younger. Now, of course, I'm older now, more mature, I understand, but that pushed me and made me want to be a better father. Just that hate that I had in my heart for some teammates, anybody who had their father in life and had a good relationship, that forced me and made me want to be a father and be a father, participating and present in my kids' life, to the point where I go and help out and mentor kids at my son's school. And I could see some of them boys treat my son a certain way because his father's in his life. I could tell that, because I was that guy who looked at him like that, and I would make a special treatment to go over and say, hey, man, look, I know they're looking at, I know what you're dealing with, I know what you're going through, but let me tell you, your father's missing out on the opportunity to even be in your life. Don't look at nobody different. I went through that, I did that, and it doesn't help you at all. I promise you don't. At the end of the day, it's going to eat at you. But just let them know, when you have your own kids, make sure you will be a better man, a better father. So I definitely relate.
Hey, hey, Hink and T-Bomb, thank y'all so much for y'all candor. Like, thank y'all, man. Mm-hmm. Y'all dropping some real shit. I really appreciate y'all being so honest about y'all situation. So
yeah, same thing with Jay too.
And Jay, my bad, bro. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, yeah.
I'm mistaken. You want to speak on it?
No, I'm learning. I'm trying to learn to. I talk too much, so
I'm trying to
learn to balance it out. Yes. So.
That's a safe way to say I don't want to speak on it. Okay.
Yeah, I have something to say, but I'm long-winded, so
no, go ahead. No, everybody. I think a nice amount of people have spoken already, so I don't think you'll be crowding too much time. And then plus, it'll give you a little bit more time for Shantae to gather her thoughts around it. Thinking about Chris Keys over there, but go ahead.
I do agree. I think the envious aspect definitely impacts you more, because I do agree with his understanding of, it's typically like people who are close to you, so of course it's going to have a huge a bigger effect. Although I do believe that a hater, they can kind of somewhat be in your circle, but it can also be somebody that you really don't know. I think a hater can move in between. What was different, what I had recently had a conversation, well, not too long ago, a conversation about understanding the difference between jealousy and envy. Because typically you hear those two words together, but and this kind of reminded me of that, in the fact that, like, jealousy is more along the lines of it is something that you already have, and you're afraid that somebody else might take it. Whereas envious is something that you don't possess that somebody else has and you want it. So that kind of spoke to what Jay was saying. He saw that somebody else had something that he wanted, and reacted, moved a certain way because of that. And I think a lot of times we're not cognizant of our feelings, and we're moving without recognizing that it's about us instead of the other person.
Y'all think it's I know he stated the N-word ninja at the beginning, like these guys is the ones that's doing it. Do y'all think it's a racial thing? Because it sounds like it's not, because I mean
Hell
I'm
no. We ain't got to go down that rabbit hole. Hell no.
I mean,
Everybody do that.
I don't know if that's what he meant when he said N-words is
Oh, okay.
always doing this. You got to watch these. I don't know whether he
I
was
think
trying
No.
in general,
I think he talking like how I talk. And when we talking about people, I was like, man, look at these niggas, man. Like that's just how he talk.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't think he's talking about specifically black people, but his experience more than not is probably just around black folks, right? He probably ain't got a whole lot of white people in his circle to be in. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, it's just based off experience. Yeah, it was
Proximity.
this. It was this thing where a lot of people would compare Chicago to Atlanta, and they would say that a lot of people in Atlanta would be more likely to support each other. Where in Chicago, they had this culture that was particularly within the black community where people didn't want to see other people win, or if they had valuable information, it wasn't really wanted to share the information to put somebody on. It was almost like they either want to try to charge or keep it for themselves because they wanted to be the man on top. And so, and to this day, we still do see that. And I can't really say it's all of Chicago, but based off, because a lot of people know each other. You know, if you've been in a few circles, you see the same people out. And and if you out all the time, the people that don't go out, they watching you. So I'm looking at this thing in the chat, trying to make sure I want to troll. But yeah, so it's just kind of interesting to kind of really kind of break down. Like I came from nothing, so everything that I have, I worked for. You know, I wasn't always in a position to have anything, and it was just all I knew. So if everybody has something else greater, I was just like, how can I, work to get there? How can I work to get it? I was accustomed to not having name brand shit, not being able to afford it. That was just my life, right? So as I started to work to do things, I had somebody in my ear that told me it's not the people that show you their card. It's like you already know what they're gonna bring. It's the people that don't say anything. It's the people that you got to watch. I never put 100%. Go ahead. Who was that?
Let me ask y'all this. I know y'all said it wasn't about race, and I'm not trying to make it about race. But is it safe to say that it could be some greater percentage of our own people that just hating on us than any other race? Because from my experience, if we're gonna bring this down to a personal level, I've never been robbed, or I've never seen any white people come in the hood and just robbed black people for what they had, or say they want what we have. I mean, they probably
because we ain't got
the only
shit.
thing,
Nigga.
the only thing they may have probably tried to take was maybe like, try to impede on our culture as far as saying wearing braids and all the other shit.
But what do we have in our community for anybody want to take?
It's about access. Like
I would advocate that other black people around us want what we have.
So here,
I've never seen it as far as witnessing it.
Agree.
Race trying to, like Asians coming to take what we have or our house or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
so here's what I'll say to that. Crimes happen within communities. Latinos are committing crimes against Latinos. Black folks is committing crimes majoritarily, for the majority part, against other black people. White folks ain't going into the hood to commit crimes there because they doing it in the fucking trailer parks in their communities. That's just across the board.
And then real quick, Hank. And then the flip side of that, Bruiser, is that they're not broadcasting that. They're not broadcasting when the triads run down on somebody in Queens and slap them up. They're not doing that. When you see the news footage, you see young black drill rappers running down. They're not showing the Chinese dude with the Yankee hat running down and karate kicking somebody off the screen. They're not showing that. They're showing us. There's a reason for that. So, not saying what you feel isn't accurate, but just keep in mind that it's proximity. Like Quest is saying, it's proximity.
And it's about access too. Like if I have everything and you have something, I'm not going to hate on you because I feel that I'm better than, or I have more than you anyway. So what am I going to be envious about? So I think it's about who you surround yourself with. If you're the one in a let's say your group that's on the lower end of the totem pole, more than likely you're going to be the one susceptible to being envious or hating because you don't have. Versus if you're the one that's on the top of the totem pole, then it's going to be less likely that you're going to hate against anybody else in your circle unless they have something specifically that you don't have and you want. So I don't think it's a race thing at all, because that can happen across the board regardless of race.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Quest. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say some old violent, some wild, crazy stuff, but I ain't gonna do it. It was about George Zimmerman. That's what it was about. But I ain't finna do it. I can't get that pussy nigga no time. And you can add that one to the box, because I'll pay for that. Call him a pussy nigga one more time on a major platform. So yeah.
Shantae, I see you ducked out on this one. There you go. Okay. I had to do a well-being check,
I had to take my little. I just cut it off. So.
Well, Quest did say it was kicking your ass. I guess he wasn't lying about that.
So, I've been fortunate. My friends, I don't think any of my friends are envious of me. I think I surround myself with people who are doing great things for themselves, and we, birds of a feather flock together. As far as haters, yes, we all have haters. They're in the chat, they're in the comments, they're everywhere. Like the ones like, oh, she capping, or she is, So we experience haters, absolutely. I've experienced it all my life. But I love you guys.
Hey, so you know what? Let's speak about envy and hate real quick. There's this guy that I think is pretty envious of me, right? His name is Bobby M, and that nigga be in the comments. Bobby M. Here we
now we ain't gonna call names.
I'm calling his name out because I'm calling names out. Bobby M, if you're in there, my offer of $1,000 to show yourself on any platform still stands. I will give you $1,000.
I like
nigga.
Bobby.
Here I am. It's me.
I'll give you $1,000.
I love you, Sean. I'm not talking about you.
If you show yourself on any one of these platforms and be
Bobby.
the guy that you are in your account picture.
I like Bobby.
I ain't mean to derail, but we talking about envy and hate. And that nigga be hating, and I think he envious too. Bobby, what you want, man? You want what real niggas got, bro? Come on, man. Since we talking about envy and hate, you did this, JR.
But would it not be hating? We just had a whole conversation about stopping liking people's pictures. That's hating, kind of, right?
Well, see, there's a difference between hate and trolls. Like trolling and hating. Like hating is just I don't like you, but I have no legit reason. Trolling it, I'm not gonna lie. If I was in the comments, I would be a lot more aggressive, and you know what I'm saying? I would be a lot more aggressive and saying stuff that I wouldn't say while I'm on the platform. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be on 10,000 in the comments.
That does give you a little confidence.
Yeah, you be in there like, man, shut up, Quest. You know what I mean? Like, but up here, I'd be like, yo, Quest, yo, it was good. You know what I'm saying? It's just a natural thing. You're gonna be on 10 in them comments naturally, but that's trolling.
I get it. We love the
trolling.
comments.
Yeah, I don't hate anybody. I just want to, throw something out there to throw a little grenade in there, man. See what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep this moving. But before I do, I just want to highlight a couple of things from my perspective. If you're being hated on, I think you have to understand that it's deeper than you, and so sometimes you really can't go down that rabbit hole of going back and forth with somebody. It's just like it's deep. I have no understanding as to why somebody would want to hate on somebody. I've never put anybody down. I want people to go up no matter. If I'm not that far ahead, guess what? I'm going to work. I'm going to get there. But I do appreciate seeing people succeed. That's what we all got the opportunity, same opportunity like everybody else do. So if you're not there yet, then just do the work. And on the flip side, you never really understand what that person did to go through to get to where they are. So whatever you may be hating on, it might have came with a challenge that they overcame. And so salute to them. So I think a lot of people, if you do have those hating tendencies and it could be deep, maybe you might need some help, some therapy for it. Maybe instead of bringing up relationships, bring up, I hate. You know, that's something that can be processed too, and maybe you can kind of get an understanding similar to what Jay said of where it all stemmed from. Let's just wish people the best, man. Let's wish people the best. Let's try not to hate. If you are that person, just see if you can eliminate that out your soul, because it's not the right thing to do, man. It's just really not.
So, so you saying
And then I also think, hold on, I'm not finished. And then when it comes to like the envy part of it, it's okay to admire somebody and want to be able to be on that level, you know, but just like salute them. It's okay to admire. I don't see anything wrong with people admiring somebody. Like Quest is retired at the age of 30. That is phenomenal. That's some good ass shit.
38,
You know,
38.
okay, right. You know, like salute to you. That's a good thing. I'm okay not being there.
I'm envious.
Huh? Are you retired too?
I'm envious of Quest being able to
Well,
retire.
no,
I'm just joking.
you shouldn't be, because you got to think about the hard work this man put into it. That shit didn't come easy. So him celebrating that's some good ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at Bruiser. I might not be as good as a videographer as Bruiser, but shit, the shit is dope. Like, I'm gonna call and ask some questions. You know, there are a lot of great people out here in this world that's doing great things. Imagine the world would be so boring if we was all the same. The world would just be boring. Imagine everybody just like Shantae. And there's no disrespect to you, Shantae. I'm just saying, imagine a world where everybody was like Shantae. How can we learn anything? How can we feed off of energy? How can we even know like what it feels like to be successful if we was all the same? So let's just cut the hate, cut the envy, flip that energy into something differently, and let's try to see if we can push it to something positive. Deal? Church say amen.
Amen.
Right on, big brother, right on.
All right, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. It's time to get to the meat of the conversation. And we know the ladies like the meat. I didn't want to bring up the meat too early because I seen, that Christian Keys. Hey,
wasn't ready.
Yeah. And apparently they like the box too, as Quest always say. So, shout out to the meat and the box. It's a nice combination.
Hey, any of you ladies ever had any box in your era?
Oh,
since we being so candid today.
What's the box?
You know what the box. All right, bro.
What are you talking about? Are we talking about big female?
Have you ever crossed over?
No.
Have you ever
Y'all,
crossed over?
what are you saying? Please just tell me.
Vagina. We're talking about vagina.
Quest, you good about asking personal business.
We're talking about vagina.
I was born with one, so no.
With Allen Iverson.
Yeah, there you go.
No. To answer your question, no.
Okay. All right, so here we go. We asked him.
Miss Open Book, Shantae.
No, I've never.
Okay.
Mistaken.
I'm not going to answer because actually me and Shan had a conversation about this. So I'm intentional in not answering personal questions from Quest because he is good for that. I won't do it. I won't do it. And y'all I ain't going to say falling for it all. Well, y'all answer it all the time. I'm just not going to be that one.
Hey, stop building up my game plan, man. What are you doing?
There you go. Special shout out to little baby Quest on the show right now. Shout out to him.
This man need his own show, JR.
Hey,
those baby shows do well while you're
get the contract paperwork ready, baby.
Okay. I like to hear that. I like to hear that, man. Shout out to him, man. And shout out to Quest being such a great father as well. Let's keep it moving, man. Welcome to Lapeef and Sundays. Get the likes up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now we are to the meat of the conversation. And I got a video to support. A little bit more context. No woman should ever have to debate a man over her body. You guys agree? Just give me a yeah or no.
I think it depends on the man. Because I think if you're in a that's what I'm saying. If you're in a marriage, I do think you should take into consideration what your husband is saying. But if it's just a random or something like that, no.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, and then we'll go ahead and dive into it.
Give your daughter honey buns in the morning? Is that body positivity? Just be fat?
Body
Just be fat?
positivity is not about that. Body positivity is loving yourself where you are in life. And what you do not like about yourself, you
No,
take
it's
the
not.
steps
Okay,
to
well, it's
work
not.
on
Well, I'm
it.
gonna cut this real quick because what I want y'all to know, and I want everyone at home to know this as well. No woman should ever have to debate a man over her body. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this conversation right now. So I want every woman at home to understand this. There will be men in your life that are ignorant, that want to tell you that who you are is not enough. And let myself, let Chantel, and let my family here in the audience be the first to tell you your body is perfectly designed as is. You keep loving who you are, and if you can't find that love in yourself, there are people like us that want to reach out to you and send you that love.
That's Karamo from Real World.
I have no idea. I just ran across the video.
That's Karamo from Real World, yo.
Play it to his audience.
So
No,
yeah,
no. Let me
that's
clear.
right.
Let me clear this up. He's not worried about women's bodies. He's into men's bodies.
right.
That's Karamo.
That was pretty evident.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Jay, he done crossed over. Okay, he done with the Allen Iverson. Okay.
So are
Hey,
you worried
so-
about? Okay, go King. Okay, so I just want. So we're saying that you want every woman to be physically fit. Is that what you're saying? Is because I would see why you would matter if your wife or a person you're interested in, you should care about because they're in your vicinity. They become, a part of who you are. They mean something to you. But for me to shame a person, shaming period is not good. But motivating somebody saying, okay, you should probably do this for your health or something of that nature, I can understand it from that standpoint. But I would never want to shame people. I teach in a professional where you hear about suicides because you're shaming somebody. You never know what their situation is. It's not my job to shame anybody or put what I want on top of you. I can tell you my preference. If you ride with it, you do. If you don't, I can always leave. And again, that goes with mates and, whatever. But a random person on the street, I'm shaming you because you're bigger than me or you're shaped different than me. That's crazy to me.
I don't agree with. I think shaming is good depending on the delivery.
Shaming, but only people who should be shaming people who are committing.
Okay, so what's the definition of shaming? What's the definition of shaming?
Making somebody feel bad for something, shaming them.
Well, I think there's a difference between shaming and convicting. I think we need to move in the direction of convicting people as opposed to shaming. The shaming is making is attacking the individual, whereas I think when you are doing the other aspect, it is attacking what the behavior of the individual is doing. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want them to change the behavior, then you focus on the behavior itself. Like, I think you need to, put them cookies down. Like I just said, I ate cookies. My husband said, I think you need to, put those cookies down. I want you to be much more healthier. You're attacking the behavior. And shaming would be, you're so fat. Why are you eating them cookies? You don't have any. So now he's attacking me. And the likelihood of me changing the behavior is going to decrease because now I'm feeling bad about myself. And now I'm therefore eat more cookies because the cookies make me feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I understand the word shaming, right? And I never used that word shaming. I just looked at the definition and you guys are correct. But I think a lot of times when we have conversations, people will put all the focus on the words, the tone and everything, and they just miss completely everything. I think we all understand if you're addressing a situation, keep the energy there. Keep the energy to like what we're discussing. Now I do, if it's totally off as far as the words you use in communication, I get it. But if I'm sitting here and I have a certain tone and I'm shaming you or convicting, however you want to look at it, it don't really matter. You did something wrong. I'm highlighting, I'm pointing it out. Don't shift that because then that's how you go down that rabbit hole. And the original conversation is never had because the focus shifted. So I'm not into the words and like what you're exactly doing, the act of what you're doing. But I do think it's a way to communicate people, and everybody is different. But let's not get too hung up over labeling the words or like labeling what's happening in the moment. Like you're trying to start an argument. Well, I'm not about to argue with you. The minute you say argument, now that person, you're looking at this like it's an argument. It doesn't have to be looked at that way. And then people associate argument with conflict, fight, abuse. So I think it's very important to understand the message. And a lot of people don't listen. A lot of people, you'll start talking, they're not even listening to you. You know, they just ready to respond. They just ready to get their 2 cents off, and the conversation is never had. And we had a topic about this. So many conversations, so many relationships could be saved if you just had a conversation.
That sounds like you talking about somebody specific, JR. Is this somebody we know?
No, but it ain't that. It's just that you see it too often. I mean, even with your kids, you know, like I have situations where you talk to my son. I say, you're not even hearing me. Like you're too busy trying to talk. The message is getting missed. Even it happens every day. A lot of people don't know how to communicate. I was guilty of not knowing how to communicate. I didn't understand the power of listening until I had to like teach or coach people or have conversations. You'd be surprised if you just listen, how much you can get from just listening. I mean, some people just want to be heard. Some people don't even care to get a response. But it's some power behind listening. And if you are in a business deal, like you meet somebody for the first time, like part of networking is being able to hear what it is, and then you hear those key things that they're saying, and then you're able to regurgitate that back to them or kind of piggyback off what they were saying. And now that person's like, oh, they really listen to what I'm saying. It's power behind listening. That's all I'm saying. And it could be family, business deals, co-workers. Go ahead, Quest.
So I'll touch on a couple things, right? So the word shame is a noun, right? A painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior, right? So if somebody is going to shame you, now that's a verb, right? Going to shame you, you have to feel shame yourself. You have to have that feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior that you are doing, right? So I just wanted to wake people up, since we were talking about what's the definition of shame. It's a noun. So the other thing I want to touch on, right, is we talking about a woman. Should a woman ever have to debate a man over her body? If we're married, me and my wife were just having a conversation while I was muted a little bit or whatever, and I'm like, yo, we gonna have a fucking debate about it. If you want to go out here and go have surgery to go get quadruple D boobs, we're gonna have a conversation about it, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna just be like, hey, it's your body, baby. You can do whatever you want. No. And for all y'all that's out there that thinking that that's what it should be like, y'all are foolish. Your marriages won't last, your relationships won't last, or you'll never get in one to begin with, right? The conversations have to be had between men and women. Yes, if it's pertaining to our body. What if she goes out there and, let's say, for instance, does something that now enables her from having kids? And that's one of the things that you wanted out of your marriage. We're going to have a conversation about this. That's foolish. Oh, I'm going to go and get my tubes tied. Nigga, we just got married, and you know, this entire time we've been dating, you know I wanted kids. There needs to be a conversation there, right? So I know, ladies, y'all would love to just be able to have complete and total control of your bodies, to be able to go up and do whatever it is that you want. But if you want certain results, you know some of that responsibility is going to lie within a conversation with your man.
Yes. Yeah, but I think the key word you said this is your wife. Of course, if I'm married to a man, he has absolutely the same say as me. If there's a major decision I'm making with my body, even if it comes to a haircut, I'm going to discuss it with my husband. Absolutely.
But the statement says women. It didn't say wives. It doesn't say girlfriends. It doesn't say
so you have no control over my body if I don't even know you. No, you don't. What gives you the right to have control over my body if I don't know you? If you're just a man.
I don't think the topic is suggesting control. I think it's just having a debate. So if it does, I don't think it's restricted to marriage either. You know, I'm with Quest on that. I think if you really want to be with this man and the man really wants to be with you, I think you get what you negotiate. And I think a debate or conversation or whatever you want to call it, aggressive talk, discussion, whatever you want to call it, it's necessary so you don't go through it, get into a marriage, and now you got these misunderstandings, and now you got to over compromise for things that you could have had a discussion about before you tied the knot. And I think that's a problem in relationships today. People are not having a conversation, and they're not negotiating what they want to deal with, or pet peeves, or you know what I'm saying, body. You can call it shaming or whatever, but if a woman can negotiate or debate a man on his provisions or you know, an amount of money he has, or you know, what he's bringing to the table, a man should be able to have a discussion or a debate about what he values in a woman. And a lot of times, oftentimes, what a man values in a woman is her physical attraction, her beauty, her health, her fitness, and nutrition. Those are like one. I think that's a major component in what a man is, the driving force of a man being, you know, linked to you or hitched to you or attracted to you or want to pursue a community relationship. Yeah, there's other things. I'm not saying it's not, but we can't sit here and say physical attraction from a man's lens is what's causing him to want to debate with you about it. So I think it's necessary to have that conversation.
Yeah, and then to keep the conversation genuine, nobody's suggesting that I can just go across the street to some random family person's house, knock on their door, they open up the door, and there's some fat woman that come out here. You need to get on a diet. Come on, Shantae. We're not talking about strangers, dog. We're talking about people that we care about, people that's in our circles, people that's in our in our inner circle. You know what I mean? Our husbands, our boyfriends, our you know what I'm saying? That's what we talking about. I mean, if we want to keep the conversation genuine, you know what I mean?
Again, this is another.
The reason why I brought that up real fast, because I wanted to say, is because what I've seen is a lot of people judge people they don't even know on platforms. You understand? That's not somebody you know personally. It's just you're judging a person you don't even know. But I agree. If this is a person who's in your family, who is a mate, somebody you are pursuing, and that's what you like, absolutely.
But I think I think whenever we go ahead, Jay, because I had already went. Go ahead.
No. You good, Bruce.
I think when we get on these platforms and we talk, I think we're trying to educate women pertaining to this topic. I think we're trying to educate women on what we find valuable. It's not the only thing that we find valuable, but it's a critical point in the dating realm that we find valuable. That's not really looked at the same way as men. I don't think women, me personally, I don't think women really know their true value. I think their value is between age 18, 25. It's got something to do with their body count. It's got something to do with their physical fitness, health, and nutrition. And I think women are not valuing that the same. That's the reason why we have to have these arguments and debate to try to see if we can bring out the best version of a woman. That way, when we go out in the dating room, that way, when our sons are going out, we could see the women that we could see what we value in a woman. And women are not valuing that the same. They're not valuing their beauty on the way that would attract us or that what causes us to want to be with them. You get what I'm saying? A lot of women are taking a top-down approach. You know, they're focusing on their hair and their makeup, and then oftentimes they avoid the rest of their body. Instead of taking a bottom-up approach and focusing on their body, you know what I'm saying, putting the investments in the money, because you're spending $700, $800, $1,000 every weekend just get your hair done, lashes done, and then you're skipping your body. So if you reverse it and work on your body and build yourself up from the ground up, we wouldn't have to have this debate.
Gotcha.
Man, put a 1 in the chat for my dog Bruiser, bro. That man said nothing but facts. Drop a 1 in the chat for my dog Bruiser, man. Bruiser, you on
there you
point,
go.
Bro.
I have something to say after this
everything you just said was spot the fuck on, sir.
Appreciate it.
And definitely, I mean, you know, to lighten up that a little bit. I mean, in reality, if you're dating somebody, because I was dating a woman that, you know, she follows all of these body sites, you know, where people get work done, where females get work done, they get titties and butts and mommy makeovers and all of that. And, you know, she's seriously considering it. And I'm thinking, like, you know, Cats is already looking at her when we go out now. So imagine if she got a fat ass and some nicer titties. Like, I'm gonna have to take boxing lessons. You know what I'm saying? That shit affects me if we are working on the future. You know what I mean? So there's a conversation that, like Quest was saying, you know, you're not being genuine if you don't think it affects us. You know, that the way you dress affects us. So why wouldn't what the attire is on affect us and need to be debated? You know what I mean?
And speak to the conversations that we be having on these platforms, right, with other people on these platforms, stuff like that, right? Like, I think I agree exactly what Bruiser was saying, bro. Like, sometimes we're not necessarily talking to the women that's on the panel. We're talking through the women that's on the panel, right? And trying to penetrate the chat. But we will use them as an example, right? And we know that these examples exist because a lot of the men, I guarantee a lot of the men that's on the panel, probably every single man on this panel has examples within their own families, right? Of if you continue to act like how you acting on this panel, you're going to end up like one of my aunties or some shit like that, right? I'm assuming every male on this panel has an auntie that they know damn well they don't want these women out here to grow up and be like. Is that facts? That's facts.
He said facts.
That's facts. That's facts, right? So we know what the outcome is if y'all go out here and do these different things, man. And we trying to preach through you to get to the ones that's out there that we can really touch. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes y'all are an example. And since we having a conversation on a panel, we gonna have a conversation on the panel about it.
And I'm glad they brought up. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Taken. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say, can I just bring up one point to what you were saying? Because I do agree with what you were saying. But it is also about looking at, like, I guess, the total picture in both sides. I think a lot of times what happens is that men will say this is what they value. This is, what they think that a woman should be and what they value. And we hear it, but what happens is it also matters on who it's coming from and the hypocrisy of it. So what I mean by that is, if you pointed out that this is what men value, a woman that's fit, or the body count, those things. But so I just wrote a note to myself, like what I heard, so etc., whatever it was. So you say that you should teach guys that so they know what to value, but do your behavior support what you say you value? That matters too. So if it's a dude that's overweight and saying you need to lose weight, this is what we value, there's going to be some pushback from that woman in the way that she receives that. So I said, are you ensuring that you are also fit, and are you ensuring that you're not adding to the body count? So if body count matters to you as a man, and this is something that you say that you value for women, if you're not fit and you're adding to the body count of women, then your actions are not showing that you value that as well. That was just something that I had thought about when you said that. If you're going to hold somebody accountable for certain things, accountability just can't be one way. It has to be on both sides. It's just what I'm saying.
Let me just say this real fast. And Bruiser, I know I've seen Bruiser in with his wife, and I've seen Quest in person with their wife, and their wives match them. They're both.
I'm not to them. I mean, in general.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know that. But what I'm saying is, just for the people who have never met these two individuals, when I see Quest, his wife compliments him. Mm-hmm. When I see Bruiser and his wife, they compliment each other. It's not an offside like he's making a request, but he's not living up to the same request. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think that's important too, to go to your case. If you're big yourself, chubby, I can't even find because I gotta move your stomach. We both need to go to the gym.
Right. Well, that's my point. That's exactly it. What you hit the nail on the head. If you're exhibiting the behavior that says this is important to me and I'm living my life by that. Like if somebody say health is important to them, you would expect that they would look healthy. They will have a healthy lifestyle. So if you come into my space, then I need you to be on point with this as well. This is my lifestyle. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be fit. And then you're in that space and that expectation is there. So that, and it shows based on how you carry yourself that you value that. And so that's what I'm trying to say, is that it's about value. So if you value somebody or you value certain things that matter to you, then you need to exhibit that behavior or exemplify that in the way that you carry yourself as well. You can't ask somebody to do something and then on the back end, you're doing the total opposite. That was all I was saying. And I've seen a lot of men that say certain things like that, and they're not necessarily
Well, let me see if I can respond
Well,
to it. I get what you're saying.
let me say something real fast, man, because I've been quiet. The thing is, I don't understand why it's not okay for a man to have a say so or a debate or conversation with a person he's in a relationship with, whether I'm married to or not. I should have a say so. If that's my woman, it's my lady, it's my wife, I should have a whole lot of say so, because like we was talking about, it reflects us. Just like she should have a say so in how I move and how I dress or whatever the case may be. Because of that, I mean, I don't understand the debate. Now I can't go and just tell Shantae, oh, I wish you cut your hair. It's just way too long for me, for my life. No, I have no say so. I can give my opinion. I could, express something like that to her. Doesn't mean she has to take it a value or anything like that. So I don't understand this.
Well, if I could, go ahead, T-Palm. My bad.
Sorry. I actually, it's been a lot of things that's running through my head with listening to everybody. So I think that men should not. Well, like Hink said, if this is your lady, this is your woman, then absolutely. But what happens when? Okay, so growing up, I was a little insecure with my body. I was a little thicker than, the average woman or whatever. So my boyfriend at the time used to tell me that I was fat. His previous girlfriends were in videos, models, blah, blah, blah. And he used to say that I was too fat. I need to lose weight. And I thought I was, perfectly fine. I was a little smaller back in the day, but so it just kind of, I don't know. It's like,
to each his own. Not everybody likes it at the
it's
same.
just like, because he had me thinking that I'm too fat, but I really wasn't. And it's like, I don't know. It was, I don't know.
Okay, so what did you do about it, though, if you don't mind me asking?
I actually didn't do anything. I was just, my
So
feelings were just
basically,
hurt.
you didn't. This was your man, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't value his how he perceived you, so you didn't do nothing about it.
I did nothing about it.
How young were you?
In my 20s, early 20s.
And he said you were fat.
Because he was used to the model
right.
petite woman. I'm a little thicker than, what I'm saying.
But did he call you fat?
Yeah.
And you see what I'm saying? Like, it's a way to approach it. I think Miss Taken was saying it. I think Quest might have been saying it in terms of speaking to the issue rather than beating up on the person or bringing down the person. You know what I mean? Like, if he would have said that, he could have actually, I'm sure there's been plenty of people in my neighborhood. I see husband and wives or two people that date and walking together. The women might be a little bigger, the guy might be a little bigger, but they're out there together because one person made the suggestion. So he's like, you know what, we're going to walk together. I see that, and that's productive to me. You know what I mean? Not just saying you're this and don't offer any suggestions or, advice on how to change it. I think that in particular is harmful. However,
so let me go ahead.
You good. No, you good. You good.
So let me see if I can respond. I'm gonna try to respond to you and Miss Taken the same way, because I think she had a question. Miss Taken had a question about accountability and reflecting what you're trying to practice, what you preach, so to speak, and don't be a hypocrite about it. So with T-Bomb, what did you just one question? Did you think he was fat?
No.
So you didn't think you was a fat, therefore you didn't think you had anything you needed to change or do anything about it. But you knew that it was going to risk your relationship. Did y'all continue to be in a relationship, or did he break up with you because of the cause?
We didn't continue. It ended.
Okay, so it ended. So that was the value you had in the relationship. You didn't value the relationship enough because you didn't believe that you were what he was perceiving you to be. So therefore you lost your relationship. And that's what oftentimes happens. Just like if you reverse that, and we look at the value of what y'all value in a man. This is how to try to tackle what you and Miss Taken are discussing. If you look at it, what do you value? You don't value our body. you will value a man having a fat wallet over a fit body, right?
Not
Is that
true.
correct?
Not true.
Actually,
I value your body.
Okay, so a lot of stuff I said, I was speaking to a majority of women. Y'all may be an anomaly, and a lot of women who come on the panel are always an anomaly. It's just for some reason it's always like that. And I think Quest made that
I think the
statement.
rumor is you don't care about.
Are you, Bruce? Are you
Y'all
the same as you
y'all
were in
calm
your
down
early
now.
20s?
Calm down. I know some of this
Let
shit.
me just make this point. Let me just make
in your early 20s.
Let me just make this point, and I answer that question.
Do you have the same mentality?
So hold on. Let me just answer the question first. I don't dig too far into how to dig myself out. So I think as far as accountability, a lot of women tend to think that accountability is the same. It's a mirror, but men and women aren't the same. We think differently. So men value things differently than women value. And I would advocate that majority of the women out here, especially in the dating realm, value a man with a fat wallet than him being in shape. She would rather take the man that's chubby or got a little belly, but he's making 6 figures versus a man who's fit and he's making $45,000 a year. I personally think that. And if we sit here and say
pause there and ask them that. That's a good fucking point.
We know they're gonna speak from an anomaly. They're not gonna.
No, we're not gonna speak. We're gonna speak about stats because y'all quick to say people dating Pookies and Ray Rays. You know why? Because he's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. What makes a man who? So see what you just did there. You see what you just did there. You just associated the average man in America with a Pookie and Ray Ray.
I didn't. What I'm saying to you is
The average man in America making $45,000 a year. It's not a Pookie and Ray Ray.
I said you guys say that most women have their kids by Pookie and Ray Ray. Is that not a fact?
I never said that. And anything I just said in the past 45 to 60 seconds that had nothing to do with a Pookie and Ray Ray.
I'm saying let's be honest. You don't ever hear that.
Well, yeah, I hear it, but I wanted to try to answer the question with Miss Taken about as far as accountability and with Miss T-Bomb.
Right. But what I'm saying to you is, believe it or not, women want to be attracted to their mate. That is a rumor. That is not correct.
Okay, so let me see if I can answer. So do we all agree that men and women value different things?
Yes.
Okay, if we believe that, then we have to not be disingenuous to these talking points that I'm trying to give you. We value your beauty and your fitness. It's just a given. Okay. Y'all value our ability to provide and protect. If we don't have that, and you say, hey, T-Bomb say, hey to him, hey, look, you broke, you're not making enough money, we're not secure. And if he don't do nothing about it, she has the right to leave. Just like if he say, hey, look, you're overweight, you fat, your BMI is out of the stats. She values that, or he doesn't value that, or whatever. She has the right to leave. And she did.
Hey, so, and we're also talking about relationships that stand the test of time, Shantae, right? The women that are out here choosing their men and choosing their mate based off of how fucking fine they look is destined to fail, bruh.
I didn't say that. That's not the question. The point is you're saying it doesn't matter to them. And they're in relationships with men because they're attracted. There are women who choose men based off attraction. I'm not saying they should.
We understand.
I'm saying that they don't act like attraction doesn't matter because women choose men.
Show me a pool of women that's marrying men based off attraction.
Hold on, let me rock this real quick, right? Once again, we're talking about, okay, the goal shouldn't just be to go out here and get married. Okay, the goal should be to get married and stay in a marriage that stands the test of time. Women, if you are out here choosing men off of his fucking 6-pack and not the resources and things that he can bring to your household, it's foolish.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just telling you the reality of the situation is
we know the reality, Shantae. That's why we know the reality, Shantae. That's why most marriages fail. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what y'all should be striving for. Stop looking at it from like a perspective of, oh yeah, no, but women do like men that are attractive and da 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 da. I get it, right? You're not trying to go out here and marry.
As a woman, I'll just keep my opinion on what women like to myself. I think
so I understand your opinion. What you're saying is women do like to be attracted to their men. Correct.
Whether it's right or wrong, I'm just telling you in general, women do want to be attracted to their mate. They do.
I just said that. Here's
the disconnect. Women
want to
are
speak to T-Bomb's question too. My bad, Bruiser.
Go ahead.
T-Bomb, you had you asked a question. You were like, do men look the same as they did in the 20s, right? T-Bomb, can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, she said, did you think the same? Did you think the same in your 20s? Like, did you value the same things?
Yes.
But I think you were trying to get to a point, right? You were trying to get to a point where it's like, hey, we change over time. Why are y'all less valued than us? Is that what I'm getting at?
No, I don't think she was saying that.
No,
I'm trying to comprehend what you're saying. I'm sorry.
You said it again.
I'm trying to comprehend what you're, because it was in a mix of.
She did ask, did we think the same? Did our mentalities change as we got older? I'm telling you, what a man values, it's the same. If I'm 20, if I'm 40, I'm still valuing beauty and attraction and fitness, no matter what.
Okay,
if I'm to choose a woman,
what Shantae said, because you just admitted that you're attracted to beauty, fitness, and all that. So what's wrong with Shantae or a woman liking a man? You know, with what Quest was saying.
Well, I answered that. What Shantae is saying, what she values as a priority. I was talking about what men value.
I didn't say as a priority.
Okay, so what do you? Okay, so just for the sake of the conversation, what do you value as a priority?
A sane man.
A man's fitness, or is it a man's beauty and fitness, or his ability to provide and protect?
Listen, first of all, attraction gets you in the door. I'm not just walking up to some random. Let's be honest. When you're meeting somebody, you see who how they look first, and that is not excluded for women. We would like to be attracted to our mate, right? Which I mean,
but if you being honest,
too.
But if you being honest,
so ladies in the chat, I want you to listen. Ladies in the chat, I want you to listen. This is a perfect example of us speaking through panel members to get to you all that are out there. Now, this may come off extremely jacked up, but I'm telling you right now, we're speaking through the ladies that's on the panel right now to get to y'all. Okay. Results matter. Results matter is what I'm getting at.
The problem is you want us to be accountable and we can't have any likes ourselves. That just say it is okay. Because at the end of the day, you're sitting here saying security, blah, 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 blah. But we know that most men are not making over 100K. You don't want us to want anything in a relationship. That's what it sounds like.
We're trying to find out what we find to be more of a priority. Hush, bud.
Nobody said
Shantae, let me just ask you this question.
Nobody used those words.
I understand, but the conversation naturally evolved into that, right? So we're trying to ask what Bruiser's asking right now. What do you find more important out of these two options, right? The ability to provide and protect, or a man's beauty. That's the question.
And at the end of the day, Shantae,
that's a legit question. I would really like a good answer.
So let me ask you a question.
You can't answer a question.
No, I have to know. So what's your idea of provide? What's your idea of provide? I need to.
Can we answer the question?
Can you answer?
She needs clarification in order to answer it, because her idea of what provision is
asking a rhetorical question. We all know that's a rhetorical question.
In order to answer it correctly, if I don't understand, if we're not having the same working definition of provision, then I may not be responding.
Okay, well then state your definition of provisions, and we'll be able to tell you whether it was.
Y'all one at a time.
This conversation about to get derailed because y'all being disingenuous.
It's not about disingenuous. We just don't agree with what you're saying.
It's really simple. This is men and women we talking about.
Because obviously you know more about.
All right, y'all. Let's get final thoughts. Y'all, because we gotta.
So, as something as simple as provide and protect. Well, we need to break down the definition. Y'all know what provide and protect is.
So you're saying pay all the bills?
You said provision, because
are we doing final thoughts?
Isn't just money, is what I'm trying to say.
It's so many levels to that. Oh my God.
So here's the thing: the men are investing from the time we get out there and go into working force and try to earn a living and retire or whatever. We start off from day one trying to invest in what we bring to the table in a marriage to have a family and create a legacy for our children.
Absolutely.
And we're accountable. We're being accountable for that from day one. The accountability that women are having is not the same. You got 80%. I think it's jumped from 70% to 80% of women in the Black community specifically are now deemed overweight. So what we're saying is we're doing our homework. We're doing what we're supposed to do and what we're supposed to bring into a marriage whenever it's time to have a conversation and get into a commitment. We're saying that you got this guy that just made this statement saying the man don't need to debate a woman's body. He's giving women a placeholder, a place to hide behind, to shield their insecurities. Because whenever your beauty and your nutrition and your fitness is not intact, it start to change your character and personality to a point where it increases your insecurity, it makes you delusional, and you force yourself to believe that the beauty is in the eye of beholder. But beauty is in the best version of yourself, pushing yourself to be at your highest position.
I agree with that.
So what happens
every day? So if you're not doing that, if you can look at yourself in the mirror and you're not doing that, then and then you lose your relationship because you don't value that what your men value. We have to value what. Whenever we have a negotiation and we get in a committed relationship, we have to have a conversation. It just has to happen. We have to let each other know, this is what I value of you, and this is what you value. What do you value of me? I'll try to see if I can live up to those circumstances. And then you move on. But if you can't do that, if we can't have a conversation, if this guy is coming out and saying we can't have this conversation, then our marriages will continue to fail. Because now we can't say what we feel. Now we can't tell women how we really feel. Or what we really value. So you got to provide and protect. Okay, good. Well, you got to be healthy. Oh no, but you got to be healthy too. I'm like, damn. All I wanted you to just be healthy.
Let me ask you a question, Bruiser, off the bat. If you know security is important, why is it that anytime on a Street Critique 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays, when we talk about getting education, getting 45, the average pay is $45,000, because those are the things that we value in you. There's always a pushback. It's always a pushback. So I can respect you and I can say, listen, I know men are visual creatures. That's why I work out every single day. I understand that men are visual creatures, but you can't give pushback if it seems like you want us to work on us, but you don't do the same. You understand? Like, we can't have standards for ourselves.
So here's the thing.
Woman says that she wants you to be attractive because you make $45K. You're not providing anything with $45K. Let's just be honest. That's not knocking anybody, because I can love a man with $45K if I'm attracted to him. You know what I'm saying? Like 50, I'm gonna be attracted to him.
And you negotiate that with him.
It's a whole package. It's not.
Then you negotiate. Then you debate it. You say, hey, look, if you're gonna just bring 45,000 to the table, I need you to be fit. I need you to have a 6-pack or whatever the hell you desire, or whatever.
The average pay is $45K.
What happens when a man?
It's all about negotiation.
Like, being physically fit is just not what's attracted to that person. Because you got some men that like big women. I don't like abs. I don't like.
Then you date men who like big women.
Right.
And I'm a woman that likes big men. So that's just what I'm attracted to.
Then you move accordingly to what you value. Simple as that.
I just
fitness.
Simmer down, Hank. Simmer down.
I just
I'm loving the conversation.
I heard the comment T-Bond said.
A few points that Bruce made.
Right.
And I agree with you in terms of what men value and what
we gotta bring it to a close.
Okay, maybe different.
Wait, can you say that again? Because I think everybody on this panel needs to hear what you just said.
I said what men value and what women value is different, or can be, maybe different depending on each individual, like T-Bomb just said, right? But in general, yes. But accountability isn't gender specific, right? So if we value different things, but one of my things that I might value may also be like, I do want you to be fit as well, right? So you can't discount that if I want to hold you accountable for the same things, because that's what will work. Like what Jay said, if you want me to lose weight and I think you probably need to lose weight too, then we need to be out there together losing weight. It shouldn't be, well, I just want you to look pretty. That shouldn't be an issue for you. That's not accountability. But another thing you brought about the average. Most men and women are married to average men and women. And when you're talking about the protecting and providing, the provision piece is shared for most average people, because you need a dual income, right? So with that being said, you can't use that same logic and saying, well, if I'm providing, then this is what I demand of you in terms of being fit, feminine, or what have you. She also has a right, or should have an expectation of some things for you. And in terms of, for majority of women, like you said, well, I've heard in the manosphere that most men, want fit, feminine, and friendly women. That's their thing. In a conversation that me and Shan was having before, one of the things, like we were just discussing, well, what do women really want? Because we hear a lot of on here, like saying that women don't even know what they want. But in general, what we were discussing, it was saying that women want a man with assets. And what we literally, I was like, oh shoot, these are the things that women do want. And and they want their man to be an asset. So the A was attractive. Majority of women would prefer their man to be attractive, just like y'all want attractive women. So we want men to be attractive, successful, provide security, emotional intelligence, and trustworthy. Those are the things that we value in a man. So if we're having a conversation of what each other value, then it's on both of us to work to that, to provide that for each other. It should never just be one side.
Hold on one second. I'm curious to why Quest shaking his head.
So here's the reason why I'm shaking my head.
Right?
Because we can't have standards, only them.
Mm-hmm.
No, first off, nobody's saying that. Please, let's grow up, okay?
No, we're trying to grow up.
What we're talking about is the success. We're talking about the success of our community, people. Listen to what we're talking about, the success of our community. We are failing. Hey, Shantae, man, let me finish, bro. We're talking about the success of our community. We are failing as a community because of these silliness, like these silly ideas of, oh, what I want in a man. Do you think that that's what they're thinking about across the board in other races? That's not what they're thinking about. They understand the importance of a man being able to provide and protect, bring resources to a household, things like that. Right? They understand that their husbands don't need to be motherfucking 8s, 9s, and 10s, or 7s and 8s and 9s.
Most people aren't married to 10s, but go ahead.
I have a question.
Let me see if I can answer.
No, let me finish my point, bro. I let y'all, and I ain't say shit.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is the first thing on y'all list is, oh, he needs to be attractive. There's a reason why 81% of our kids are born in single parent households, right? It's because y'all are looking at dudes the wrong way.
Thank you.
Y'all are looking at dudes the wrong way. You're looking at how attractive these niggas are instead of the things that we're talking about over here. We're talking about the survival of our race, bro. We're not talking about like, oh, well, he needs to be attractive. He needs to be cute and all this. That's foolishness, bro. It's a lot of good dudes that are out here. Like they may be at that 45K right now, but they have the mentality to go out here and do more and strive for more. And check this out, fellas. If you're not on that, you're foolish. And I'm going to call you out. You need to grow up and understand what your purpose here on this world is. Provide, protect. You can't do all that broke, nigga. So
and let me add.
I have a question. I have a question.
Let me see if I can answer Ms. Taken in.
Let me just, my question to him is, so you're saying the only thing a woman has to have is attraction. And then you wonder why women are, your
wrong.
kids.
You're wrong.
We said nothing about nurturing ability, nothing about
character
as a person, nothing about how well she is with kids, none of those
things. FBI is three things. FBI is three things, not beautiful. Feminine. It's fit, beautiful, and inspirational. You can't be a foolish dummy and be inspirational at the same time.
Nothing about her nurturing ability with her children.
Stop it. No. I'm addressing exactly what you just said. You cannot be, we are not just men that want beauty only. That's wrong. We want women that are inspirational. Do you think my wife is dumb as a box of rocks back here? That's foolish to even think that. I want somebody that's going to be inspirational. That is the I in FBI.
Can I say something?
All we want is beauty.
Right. So I think that everything can be dug a little deeper. Nobody's seen attraction is the only thing you want. But you guys said beauty was the head of the game, not her intellect, not her nurturing.
It is.
Not her intellect, not her ability to be a great mother. None of those things are on
Let
your
me
list.
let me see if I can answer, man. Let me see if I can answer. Shantae, if your
Inspirational
boss
is
tell
on
you,
the-
if your
Go ahead,
if your
Bruce.
boss
Go
tell
ahead.
you to be at work on time, he doesn't mean that that's all he wants you to do is be at work at time. He also wants you to come to be to work on time and do your job. So that we can go down a tree and a ladder or all the things that you got to do if you want to. But we're talking about the initial attraction. We're talking about getting in the door in negotiation.
That's what we were.
So and to mistaken point, she's. I think you misconstruing what we're trying to say.
I think you
We
misconstrued
know.
what I was
Hold on
trying
one second. We know the number one reason for divorce is what? Finances, right?
No, it's not.
It is. I looked at the stats.
I promise you it's not.
It's infidelity, I think, is what it is. I know, but I don't.
Infidelity is number 2. Infidelity, it fluctuates. It may fluctuate, but we know it's okay. Let's say it's the top
typically
3.
the third, but go ahead.
Okay, I looked at a different stat than you. The stats I looked up, number 1 is finances. Okay, and then if you look at that, 70% of all marriages divorces is initiated by the women. So if we look at the stats and we compare that, women are walking away from men because they're not able to provide and protect.
But them niggas fine though. But they fine though. We got
women ain't walking away from marriages because they not fit. Okay, so here's another thing. You look at a relationship in a committed relationship. You're trying to get into like Quest said. You got to think about the legacy you're trying to leave for the children. That is what men is starting to do from day one. We're trying to build a legacy so we can create a inheritance, and we can try to take away this myth or this history that we don't have nothing to pass down to our children. That's what we're thinking about. So we doing our role. We identifying our role. We identifying ourselves in our role in the relationship, in a marriage, and we're doing that. So when you say, "Oh, you got to be attractive," come on, man. We're doing our role, and all we're asking for women to do is do their role. Be beautiful. And if it's me or any guy that thinks like me, if I'm gonna demand my woman to be beautiful and at her best, I'm gonna create the circumstance in the relationship so she has the time and the resources to be able to fulfill that. So I'm not gonna have her working a 9 to 5 or something like that, or 16 hours a day. I'm gonna retire her if that's my requirement. But if you got men out here that's saying, "Oh, you got to be beautiful, you got to be in tip-top shape," and she come home at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, she don't have no time to jump. Yeah, I can say to your point that may be hypocritical or whatever. So if these guys are not giving these women the time and the resources to be at their best, then yeah, I would argue that. I would take your side of that argument. But oftentimes the beauty, fitness, and attraction and the nutrition supposed to come before you get into marriage. You're supposed to be putting on your best hat before you even get into a conversation. You should be already at your best. That's all we're saying. Women, go out and be at your best. So when we come to see you, there's no bullshit. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, JR, I got a dope ass flip for you. Okay. Y'all want us to care about, "Oh, well, you don't care about how intelligent she is." Let me tell you how it plays out when a dude goes and finds a woman that's extremely intelligent, right? And I mean, all those things you were talking about, right? He's gonna end up going outside of his household to go get pussy from elsewhere because he's not attracted to that woman. That's what's gonna happen. So all you women that are out here that are like, "Well, these bitches have no brains," y'all ain't got no niggas, okay? Because all y'all that think that all that intelligence is, "No, this should be more important than anything else," y'all are foolish. Y'all are foolish. Once again,
from a teacher's standpoint,
I got one more statement.
From a teacher's standpoint, you will want your child
because
to have some input before they.
Oh, hold on, Shantae. I think T-Bomb. Go ahead, T-Bomb.
It's a little hypocritical because one moment attraction is not important, one moment it is important. Quest, Bruiser, do you guys think y'all married? Y'all got you think you're attractive? Do you guys think you're an attractive man?
I'm 100% certain that I'm an attractive man.
So your wife was drawn to that attraction at first, correct?
Fair.
Right?
Fair. That's not what kept
as you guys are dating, you getting to know each other and find the qualities that you have and that she has to go ahead and bond. But the attraction came first.
So,
but it's just like
retention is immediate after attraction. Retention.
Yeah, that's not what kept her. That's not what kept her here, right? It wasn't my good looks didn't keep my wife here,
right? But You're right. You're right.
It
But
was our retention. And the same thing we teaching our daughters. You know what I'm saying? Don't just go off of what a man look. Pookie and Ray Ray could look the same as me, but we don't have the same retention.
You're steady always talking about physical and attraction, like you said it several times, Ruza. So it's just like, I mean, is it important or is it not important?
See the way y'all women thinking on this panel right now. Y'all and there's a lot of women out there that does this, and they're raising the kids to do this. Y'all are single-handedly creating a unique woman. Y'all creating a unique woman. A beautiful fit woman is now a unique woman.
You said
if you look at the community and the problems and the statistics about overweight, y'all have single-handedly made this woman that is just beautiful and take care of her health and is fit and nutrition. She is now a unique woman.
Exotic.
And doesn't have BBLs. This woman is supposed to be a norm. This is supposed to be a beauty for a woman. Is supposed to be normal. That is your value. Now a woman's value has become unique. It's become a rare gem. It's a unicorn now.
So let me ask you, to your point, to your question, T-Bone, if you said that, yeah, my looks, let's say, attracted my wife. Actually, I approached my wife and I approached her on some wittiness, but we're not going to be anecdotal, right? I'll ask you the question. If the attraction is what got you in the conversation with the guy, right? Because, you know, he had to be attracted for you to even really talk to him. Is that what's keeping you? And for a lot of the ladies, once again, speaking through you right now, a lot of the ladies that's out here in the world, right? You are allowing looks to keep you long enough to have you a fucking child. One, or two, long enough for him to fuck you over because you went after looks and then go after the other things. That's kind of what we're getting at. It's no problem with you being attracted to a dude. There is a fine line, right, on what your standard is on who you allow to approach you type bullshit. But there's no problem with being attracted to the person that you want to talk to and communicate with for potentially the rest of your life. You're just trying to tell you that can't not be the most fucking paramount thing, ladies.
You're right. I was just saying it because it was brought up several times, and it seemed like that was just so important.
What do if you had to put it in order, what do you, because you had asked the question before in terms of what do women value, like if they had to put it in order. So and like I said, I came up with the analogy of asset. Women want an asset. They do want a man that is attractive, that's successful, that provides security, has emotional intelligence, and trustworthy. But what I'm asking you out of that, since it's just an acronym, of course, the A is first. But in terms of, what order personally, I think most women would put that in. Attractiveness may not be the first thing. I think that depends on the woman. So what I'm asking you as men, we know that beauty is important to you, right? The physical attractiveness is important to you. But in terms of relationship wise, if y'all had to put those things in order that you value, what would be the first?
Beauty. Beauty is going to be always paramount. That's the reason why my wife takes it so seriously going to the gym and shit. Or like when she's like been down for a couple weeks or whatever, you're like, I need to get my ass back in the gym. Yeah, because if the interchangeability of relationships, what we were talking about, what the number one cause of divorce is, from what I understand, is between finance and fidelity, right? And if there's a lot of times, the reason why men go and step outside of their households is because beauty has gone out the window, or they're not even making the attempt to maintain their beauty, right? There are women that are 60 years old that's still getting in the gym and still making it a priority. Are your curves going to look exactly the same as what it was when you was 20? Clearly not, right? But we're also, we've been married to you for that long. We're considering these things, right? But beauty is always going to be paramount. Now, inspirational and all that, like that's huge. You think I got a dummy back here raising my son? Come on, man. Like that's foolishness. But we got to start with beauty. I'm still trying to hit them draw. I'm still trying to beat that box. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
I think we can all agree that I think attractive for men and women both are important to us, right?
I would
I would say that both men and women like attractive, you know, the opposite sex to be attractive. However, I think the difference with women is that although we like it, it's not in terms of valuing it as a priority, because we know that that's not going to sustain the relationship. And I think that's what the focus, I think what we're hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, what we're hearing that you guys are saying, I value beauty over anything else. But we know that just in regular human, you know, development, that beauty will always fade. And so with that being said, now women, you're saying women, that men will step out on a marriage if they're no longer attracted to a woman. Like, those are things that we are like, are you serious? So you're saying that I need to be beautiful, but I know at the same time my beauty is not going to last. So is this what I have to look forward to? Whereas women, we're going to have a deeper thought. Yes, we want a man that's attractive, but at the end of the day, are these the qualities that's going to sustain a relationship? No, because we know that your attractiveness is going to fade as well. But if I have all of those other attributes, then I'm still going to be attracted to you.
Right. So I guess the only thing I have to add to that is we're talking about women that aren't even trying to maintain beauty, right? You got to also remember, we're talking about marriages that are standing the test of time. Like these women that are in marriages long term, they're at least trying to keep, you know, the looks up and things of that nature that they know their husband values, right? They're trying to do these things, even if they are, let's say for instance, they are inspirational, right? They are these other things that men like, right? They're still going to try to keep their attractiveness up because they understand what their husbands want out of this. Now, once again, I'm also saying that we are reasonable. Men are not these just monsters, right? Like when my wife is 60 and she keeps doing what she's doing, right? Like obviously I know she ain't even gonna be able to keep up at the same rate that she's doing now, but like working out and things of that nature. We're reasonable guys, bro. But the fact that she is still like so into me to say, you know what, let me keep these things up because I know my husband like that. I know my husband like this, and that. You know what I'm saying? Is she doing this at 60, bro? Like, granted, like, hey, baby, you came down on hard times. God forbid. I don't even want to speak no crazy shit into the air. But something happens, you know what I mean, where she can't keep up with, like, I'm a reasonable person. This is the woman I said I want to be with for the rest of my life. You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand some of these things.
For Friday, I talked about this, and one of my questions I asked the women, I don't know if Shantae remembers this or not, about competing, women competing. Why are women afraid to compete? And you remain in your good physical state or physically fit. It's a form of you competing, but a lot of women don't want to compete, feel like they need to compete. I don't know why. They feel like they just have to say, hey, I got him. I ain't got to compete no more. I ain't got to fight no more. I ain't got to do this anymore, to the point where they're just willing to let themselves all the way go just because they don't want to do those things anymore.
And it's all, and I wouldn't even say is basically, you could say it's competing, but I would also advocate that it's just all about being the best version of yourself. And if you don't want to be the best version of yourself, then you get what you reap what you sow.
That's facts.
And for the women who out here, who's keep preaching this propaganda about, oh, women value attractive as a priority. I don't know if you said it like that, but I'm not gonna say you said
we didn't
priority.
say that.
Okay, we're talking about what we value. And if women are valuing attractiveness before they're valuing a man's ability to support, a man's ambition, desire to succeed, a man's purpose, knowing what he's supposed to be doing, a man that's goal driven, he's on a path of execution. You know
Can I clarify that I did not say that? I didn't.
Okay, that's cool. He gets it done. But y'all made a whole argument out of a man being attractive.
No, we saying that we like attractiveness also.
That's what
Well,
gets you.
okay, so I got it. You like attractiveness also. That's the same thing as us saying, oh, we like a woman to be nurturing also. But that wasn't the conversation. The whole topic was around the debating a woman's body. We wasn't talking about debating a woman's ability to provide nutrition for the kids or nurture the kids. We were just talking about the body. So what I was saying for women, if a woman is going to value, I think a woman, and I actually think women are thinking like that, and that's the reason why it's a problem out here. They're going for the guys that are attractive and then they're going for the ability to do what they're supposed to do. That's why they oftentimes are stuck with Pookies and Ray Rays.
Hold on. Let T-Bomb go. T-Bomb.
With your wife, when y'all first met, it was the attraction. This is all that we're saying. We're not saying that it's the top number one reason.
It's the only thing. We're not saying
to be with a guy. We're not. Miss Taken didn't say that. I didn't say that. Shantae didn't say that. We all agree that it's.
So whenever I made
let her finish.
Hold on.
We all
Because
agree
hold on, Bruce.
Let her finish.
At the beginning, it does not keep. It shouldn't. We did not say that it does not. Just because a man is handsome, we're just gonna just stay with him, just disregard all the other qualities. No, we're not saying that, and we did not say that.
But then I ask a question saying, okay, men and women value things are different. And I asked a question. I say, what does women value the most? A man with a fat wallet or a fit man? And somebody said, oh no, we value a fit man. And that's when me and Quest said, y'all bullshitting. Now y'all trying to be an anomaly. Y'all don't remember that whole argument? We're gonna have to replay the tape.
So let me just say what I do know is
we gotta get final thoughts, y'all. Final thoughts.
What I do know is women do want provision, but let's just be honest. No, most men are not providing to that level. So then they go to the next best thing. Okay, well, at least am I attracted to him? Maybe he doesn't have enough to provide. I have to do the work, but I'm at least attracted to him because most men don't have enough money to provide for the entire household. Can we agree on that?
Yes, that's facts.
Okay, so you have to go to the next thing. So you're saying he can't be attractive and no provision, so she should just take.
So are you sitting here telling
hold on, Bruiser,
his attractiveness?
Bruiser,
no, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just giving
No, you said you go to the next best thing. Are you saying the next best thing is a man attractiveness after his?
The next thing to me is just be single. I mean, but the reality of the situation is the numbers don't lie. What is the average income? You tell me.
Wait, hold on, because now
what is the average income?
We already know. We already said 45,000, but I think you're crossing your strings now. So you saying after you find out about provision, then it go to looks, then what's next important is that he just single. Now I'm lost. Now you got to clean this up.
What I'm saying to you is obviously. First of all, in my opinion, I value character, but I have to be attracted to him. I do value your character. He can't just be some idiot on the street. Obviously, but if I put things for me, if I put my mind, I like educated men. I like men who are handling their business. I like men that I'm attracted to. Does he have to be a god? No, he's just attractive to me. He doesn't have to be attractive to my friend. He's just attractive to me. There's something about him that's attractive. He doesn't have to have a six-pack. He's just attractive.
Hold on, Bruiser.
So there's nothing you can say to change my preference. But
it may be if you listen.
These are the things that I like. I like to know that he can lead a household. If he's the CEO of my household, I'm gonna see his leadership skills because you're not gonna lead me and my family astray. You're just not gonna do that. Those are things that
hold on. Let her finish. Let her talk.
I was just gonna ask her a question. What she just answered her question.
You gotta let her talk.
Those are the things I value. If I talk about me.
So if this guy is not currently have the means to provide, if his salary doesn't make up the means to provide, you say the next best thing is what? I'm finna walk you to.
No, those are as a collective. Those are the things that I look for.
So the next best thing after him not having a proper salary.
Leadership skills, first of all, I don't care how attractive he is or how much money he has. If he has piss poor leadership skills, because if I went date a drug dealer down the street who be maybe making a whole bunch of money because his leadership skill, that's not what I'm attracted to. Okay, so it's not he's got to make this. It is so much that goes into finding a mate for what fits you.
So okay? let me close this out real quick. Okay, so. We done heard the ladies talk on the panels, right? Ladies, once again, I'm speaking through, right? I want y'all to pay attention out here while you're out and about, ladies, and be non-biased. I know some of these people are going to be people in your families. These going to be your friends, so on and so forth. I want you to be non-biased, and I want you to say, do I want what their results are, or do I want better for myself? Look at the women that's in your circles that are unmarried, that may have a bunch of kids or whatever, or not have any kids at all. They may just be 40 and above and they're single or things like that, and you know you don't want that for yourself. I want you to look at their behaviors, and then I want you to reference this conversation. I want you to look at like, what do they find to be priorities? Then I want you to reference this conversation. And if you're seeing that there is a correlation between what the men are telling you on this panel and the behaviors and the things that they find to be priorities, and you want better for yourself, then you need to listen up. Once again, anytime I talk, and sometimes my delivery may be a little jacked up, but anytime I talk, I'm talking with care for our community. I want the best for our community. I think the best for our community starts with family. It's going to end with family too. That it's got to start there, man. So if you want that for your community, really, while you out today at the mall, while you out at brunch, while you at all this little shit, brunch probably over with, but whatever you're going to be out and about at, pay attention to the ones that don't have the results that you want. And you know deep down in your soul that you fucking want, and make the change. That's all I'm saying.
All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and read these super chats so we get up out of here. Toya says Sundays are a vibe, $9.99. Appreciate you, Toya. Can't wait till you get back. And $4.99. Only women in our community look at superficial-ish height, swag, car. When y'all gonna learn from people with a more success rate? Shaking my head. Appreciate the super chat, $4.99. Also have scam likely, $5. Quest, give it up. The extent community has been taken over by the nation of wiggling.
Wigglum. Hey, shout out to all the natural ladies on the panel right now. You know what I'm saying?
Big and 11, $20. Can someone help me understand why when you tell a woman that you're looking for, the first out their mouth is, no, I'm going to tell you what you are looking for, but in a way that benefits her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and we rock with braids too.
Guys get that.
Yeah.
I know I said natural hair, but we rocking with braids too. So I just want to say that. Don't do that.
But that is the go-to hairstyle.
Yeah, we fucking with braids.
Out of town.
Yeah.
Y'all need to stop expecting a unicorn to prance down a rainbow and scoop y'all off y'all feet. Perfection is not reality. I believe that's all the super chats, man. It's been a very, very, very informative panel discussion today. Definitely appreciate it. Bruiser came in. He was chopping off heads today. So salute to you, sir. Jay came and he definitely told the story. Hank, them Bears are up, baby. It's looking good. It's looking bright. I don't know about them Falcons yet, but
yeah, them niggas trash. Can I say one thing? I'm gonna give a shout out to Crew Season real quick, man. Hey, look. Hey, do us a favor, man. Hey, in fact, do me this solid favor, right? On the behalf of Crew Season, right? While y'all out and about today, you do DoorDash, you do any of that shit, go and get you some beatbox, man. Put that on your IG and tag Crew Season. All right.
To the family beatbox. Make sure you guys tag them.
Make sure you tag Crew Season with your beatbox, right? What I'm gonna suggest is that it may not cost you much, but it's gonna mean everything to them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead. Big shout out to Crew Season, Trill, the whole committee. You know what I'm saying? OT, you feel me? The whole squad, Smooth, and then what's my boy name who on the Harley be there?
Kenny.
What? Hey, Kenny, man, we need to lock your schedule in, bro.
No, Kenny get in where he can, man. But salute to them brothers out there. Shout out to our extended family, Crew Season. And make sure you guys, when you see B-Box, think of Crew Season, grab you a box of them, and tag them. That's the proper way to do it.
So are we about to meet up and go get some beers?
Yes.
Yeah. That's about it,
I don't know
man.
about a beer though.
Beers?
What? Coronas,
I don't drink beer.
Hey, look, the calorie count.
I want to try it.
It's Sunday. We drink wine.
This is
B-Box is a form of a wine, so just go to your 7-Eleven.
Hey, Shantae, you talking about this Sunday? I have a feeling on Tuesday at goddamn 2:00 in the afternoon, you drinking wine. Am I lying?
I'm a wine tequila girl.
Y'all leave it alone. Look at it. Yeah. But appreciate you guys tuning in today for Lapeef Sundays. Make sure you guys catch us next week. Lee will be going live at 3:00 Central, so make sure you guys tap in for that. And I want to just give a special thanks to the panel, man. You guys were awesome. Great conversations. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday, and we out, y'all. We out.
Go Falcons.
Happy Sunday. It's okay
What?
to Google
Bird
church
down,
service.
baby. Bird
Get
down.
that word in.
You got an outro video too, JR? What's up, Sunday? What's going on,
No,
dog?
I ain't got no outro video, man. I'm just gonna play some music.
Hey, play that fire. You know what I like. Play
I
that fire.
don't have to fight with me right now.
What?
I don't have to fight with me right now. We're gonna rock out with this, though. All right, family. Y'all enjoy. Hit that like button on y'all way out. Appreciate y'all. Salute. It's the last track.
Last track. Everybody's tough. And you know I'm rooting for them Bucks. Sunday. Taking out the trash. Chicago. Nigga, we taking out y'all trash. Y'all got y'all ass beat last week. We gonna see how it look this week. Green Bay. We coming at you. We coming to rip your head. I won't fuck with Packers.